my goodness. Is my OBS gonna freeze on me? Okay, it looks like we're good. Hello everybody, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I am your ordinary girl turned virtual streamer, Len. It is nice to see everybody on this late Saturday evening. Well, you now have to actually introduce yourself because we're playing a new game this week.
Hi, hello, it's the Snucklehead again. It's Fran. Yeah. I keep forgetting what I'm gonna say next, but whatever. It's nice to meet everyone.
Yeah, so, honestly, we need to come up with, like, a stupid duo name at some point, because you're just stuck here with me on Saturdays.
Yeah?
We'll come up with something, like, maybe off stream. Anyway, so we are going to be playing the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. I am going to be playing with the Japanese audio as God intended. God did not actually intend this. I intended this. Because I am the stream god. The god of the stream. And I have not played through this yet, so obviously, no spoilers. But I'm not the only one who hasn't played through this yet, because my partner in crime here hasn't played through this yet. In fact, they have not played through any of the Ace Attorney games, so this is the way we're doing things now.
I will reiterate that I have only vague recollections of the original Ace Attorney games, so this might as well be a refresher.
It's not really a refresher because this game is not the original trilogy.
Yeah, fair.
I think this is a good actual place to start. I mean, honestly, I think if you want a starting point for Ace Attorney, either playing the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, or playing the OG, is probably the best places to start. Although I will say that playing this before the OG is kind of weird because it doesn't really make like big references, but there are some minor referential things. But technically, Great Ace Attorney Chronicles is a prequel, and it takes place primarily in Japan. Many years ago. Our protagonist is the ancestor of the titular Phoenix Wright, from the main games.
Oh boy.
And yeah, I'll be playing Japanese audio. No spoilers. This will also be on YouTube as always. We'll make sure to have the playthrough on YouTube and maybe come up with a duo name before Monday when I have to upload this. Will we actually come up with a name before Monday? Who knows? So yeah, let's just jump right into it.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I was like, wait. It took me a bit to like realize how the menu was. I was like, oh, it's like this. Okay, cool. Hi, Mama! Hi! Welcome in!
Welcome in.
Alright. And yeah, we were gonna be reading and voice acting any of the unvoiced scenes, so yeah, we're just jumping right into it.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah, so we do have a pretty specific time period. I don't remember what the specific year is. I think people might have said it, but
it's at least after someone had the country be open. That's for sure.
Have you watched that one the History of Japan video?
Open the country. Stop having it be closed.
Anyway, I heard you like murders. Also, by the way, this is fine. We're on trial. Yeah.
I can't believe we're arrested again.
We're getting Okay, so for people who don't know, in the original Ace Attorney, the first trial, of the OG Ace Attorney, has the protagonist's friend get arrested, and that's what happens. And there are cases where Phoenix gets arrested and has to be on trial himself. I won't say anything more than that because I'm gonna try and keep this relatively spoiler-free because we might actually go through the original trilogy and the well, actually, we might go through all the OG games after we go through these two. Anyway, I will read the at least the dialogue here because most of the characters are gonna be bad. So there's gonna be a few exceptions. There are some girls in this game, but like there's not that many. 22nd November, 8:43 a.m. Supreme Court of Judicature. How do I pronounce his name? Google, help me!
Judicature, I think.
Judicature, okay, cool. Thank you, Google. Defendant's Antechamber 5.
I still can't believe it. I still can't believe this is happening.
Also, let me know if audio is okay.
How can it be that just beyond the doors to this quiet little chamber is the highest court in Japan waiting to decide my fate?
I think I hear some background sound on your end, by the way.
Oops. Nah, that should be fixed now.
Okay, cool.
What?
I was gonna ask if you wanted me to read any of the minor characters, just let me know.
Yeah. Oh! No, nothing.
I might read off the prosecutor's lines, because you're gonna end up having to read a lot of shit, so... I will save your voice a little bit.
Save your glares. Murderer! Sorry.
But yeah, you can be the defendant side, and I'll be prosecution.
Okay. My name is Yunosuke Naruhodo.
Don't you love the puns?
It's Japanese wordplay, I'm used to this shit. I'm a second-year student at the Imperial Yumei University. 3 days ago, I somehow found myself in the middle of a horrifying incident. And now here I am, awaiting my trial.
Oh,
That's
shit.
enough!
I think my controller vibrated. Hold on, I should probably disconnect it because I'm not using my controller for this. I was like, wait, what the fuck was that? I was like, oh, that was my controller vibration. I did not know.
At least we know it's working.
I did. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I did not know this game had controller vibration capabilities because this game was originally a 3DS game.
He's not obliged to listen to such abuse, officer.
Oh look, it's the homosexuals! So the one thing I do know about this game is that the protagonist and this guy over here, who will find out his name in a bit, a lot of people ship them.
Of course. And who are you? I'm this man's lawyer. I'll be defending him today. Lawyer? Yes, and until the judge has given his verdict on the case, no one has the right to treat him as a criminal. So you will hold your tongue.
I love how he has a fucking sword.
Just casually brandishes it while it's sheathed.
Just has a sword as a defense attorney.
Technicalities. Look at you. You haven't even graduated yet.
Oh yeah, he's a law student.
And yet, I still seem to know better than you how a court officer should behave.
Also, his fucking bandana just swaying in the wind. That is non-existent because they're indoors.
Right, Yunosuke? Oh, yes, of course. Sorry. What are you apologizing to me?
You cut off there. You're the whole sentence like cut off. You might have to reread that one.
God damn it. What are you apologizing to me for? Oh, No, I suppose that wasn't my fault. But really, Kazuma, I never meant to drag you into this. I'm sorry. There you go again, apologizing.
I'm not gonna lie, this game has some of like the best fucking 3D models in the entire series.
Just like always.
It's gonna be really weird going from this to the original trilogy.
Yeah, I can imagine. Ah.
Oh yeah, also apparently, for those who don't know, there's gonna be an Ace Attorney presentation tomorrow. They had to tell us that we are not getting any new games. So no Ace Attorney 7 apparently. But people are predicting, because they put the word new in quotations, that we might be getting a port of Professor Layton versus Ace Attorney, which is the only Ace Attorney game that has not gotten a port to PC yet, because all the others are on PC already.
Yeah.
So who knows? We'll see. Tomorrow, I believe. I don't know what time tomorrow. I should double check. I'll double check later.
Well, I'm already expecting things to explode. Though I must say, you've been all over the newspapers these past few days.
Oh, don't worry. I mean, there has been an explosion-related case in this series.
God.
I believe it was Ace Attorney. I think was it 5 or 6? It was either 5 or 6. It was a tutorial case.
Christ. Yume University professor murdered in cold blood by student. But obviously, you didn't actually do it, did you? Of course not! You have to believe me! I didn't do it! I could never murder someone. Then there's nothing to worry. Just straighten yourself up, hold your head high.
You cut off again.
Oh, God damn it.
Yeah, your audio
It seems
like
to be a right now.
yeah, your
Alright,
audio
let
is
me
super
retake.
cutting off.
Then there's nothing to worry about. Straighten yourself up. Hold your head high.
You mean I don't know if it's like your filters or anything.
Hmm.
Cause sometimes filters will do that. They'll like cut off your sentences and shit.
I believe you. I know you're innocent, Ryunosuke. Kazuma Asogi, my best friend. Also in his second Yume University.
Oh man, that was weird. You're like, so the sentence that you're only a single word got cut off there. Like, I heard also in a second at Yume University. Yeah, you're getting cut off a lot.
I hate it here. But he's far more clever than I. A star student, in fact. He's even a qualified lawyer. Uh,
Hold on.
it's not that impressive.
Oh,
Impressive considering he's still an undergraduate.
if that did it by itself, I didn't do shit.
Yeah, I can tell. But yeah, let me.
Oh, that one I did. You want me to go back a line?
I wanna do those lines over.
Sure.
He's even a qualified lawyer. Impressive considering he's still an undergraduate. It's not that impressive. The very concept of lawyers is only a few years old. Here in Japan, anyway. My qualifications don't mean much. Yet. You said exactly the same thing 3 days ago. But I'm proud to have a friend like you, Kazuma. Truly. 3 days ago. Yes, that's when all this started.
Flashback-ish?
Congratulations, Kazuma! Looks like you're going to get to study abroad at last. I know! I've been forever dreaming of this.
You cut off again!
Uh,
Are you sure your filters are okay?
probably not.
Oh, now I can barely hear you. Technical difficulties,
How about
please
now?
hold. Yeah, you're good
How about
now.
now? Okay, let me reread that then.
Yeah.
I know! I've been forever dreaming of this day. Finally, those government elites have acknowledged my academic achievements and successes in court. So be it representing Japan as you immerse yourself in the most sophisticated legal system in the world. I'm really happy for you, and proud as your friend. There's not a soul in the universe who doesn't know Kazuma's name. He's a living legend. It's like there's some mysterious aura billowing around his temple. Or it's just a bandana.
Just the bandana.
I want to bring about change in our own legal system.
Yeah, so, there are gonna be some mechanics in this game, that were not present in, previous games. But what's really funny is that, like, some of the mechanics in this game were kind of stuff that showed up in, Professor Layton and, in the fucking crossover game. Which is why
Oh,
I'm
boy.
like, I'm really hopeful that, like, we do get the crossover game ported to, like, modern consoles. Because that game is stuck on the 3DS.
That's why I have to cross the ocean to see the real thing with my own eyes.
Oh yeah, so, by this he means he's going to Europe.
The heart of the British Empire. I wish I could see it too.
Wow, foreshadowing!
Then come with me.
That's kind of gay.
We'd have a wild time tearing up the streets of Her Majesty's City of London together.
That's kind of gay! I know he's not dead. This is just a flashback of explaining, what happened a couple of days ago.
If only it were that simple. Oh dear, look at the time. I'd better be going. Alright, I'll see you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy this place a while longer. Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class restaurant like this.
I'm sure he didn't enjoy this place after he got accused of murder.
He did not. See you in English class tomorrow then, partner.
That's the homoeroticism. There's no heterosexual explanation for this. There he goes.
It was straight after that. That's when it happened. Asogi, may I have a word? Professor, I didn't know you were coming. Well, this case has personal significance to me. But never mind that for now. Asogi? You should go immediately to the judge's chambers. To His Excellency's chambers? Why? He was looking for you before. You advocating for the defense in this trial was a sudden decision. It seems there may be some confusion about procedures today as a result. Who is this man? I feel as though I've seen him at university before. I see. I'll go at once then.
I shall accompany you.
Alright then, Ryunosuke. I'll see you in the courtroom.
So the girl on the right is voiced by Kana Hanazawa.
Yes. Thanks, Kazuma.
But, I love her design a lot. There you go.
This is awkward. If I may? Yes, sorry! You must be the defendant. Ryunosuke Naruhodo, I believe. Yes! Yes, that's right. My name is Yujin Mikotoba. I'm a professor of forensic medicine at Yume University. Ah, Professor Mikotoba. I've heard that name from Kazuma before. As I recall, he's been pushing to get the government to agree to Kazuma studying abroad. Asogi has told me about you. You and he are best friends, I understand. As such, I feel you should know. Know what? Well, as you've no doubt heard, Asogi has been granted permission to go and study in Great Britain. However, if he should fail to defend you in today's trial...
Oh, he might get his, stuff revoked.
I'm afraid that permission will be revoked, and never granted again. What? Ah, as I suspected, you were unaware of this. I had a feeling Asogi may have chosen not to tell you. He's agreed to defend me, knowing that if he fails, his dreams will be shattered.
I mean, he believes in you. You're not guilty.
But I don't understand. Why would the government do such a thing? The administration has to choose from a large number of applicants for overseas study. It's very difficult to persuade them to grant permission, even in the most favorable of circumstances. I don't believe it. ... But I didn't do it, I swear it. I'm not a murderer. I'm sure that's true. Nevertheless, I can assure you that proving your innocence will be no easy task. You see, There are certain peculiarities about today's trial. Sorry? What do you mean? You'll soon understand once proceedings get underway.
Yeah, you'll see the stuff in the. Welcome to tutorial hell.
Yeah? But then what should I do? Well... Naturally, I'm not going to suggest doing anything that could lead to a conviction. Right, so... As soon as the trial starts, the judge will pose a certain question to the defense. When that happens, you must answer before anyone else. You must say, I do. I do? But what will the question be? Surely not. Do you accept the accusations brought before you? Of course not. Defendant! Court is about to begin. Proceed to the courtroom at once. It would seem our surreptitious discussions are to be cut short. So allow me to summarize. Kazuma Asogi must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. Of course, as the defendant, the final decision is yours. What are you waiting for? Do you want to be found guilty for failing to appear? Get moving! There's no point in anyone advocating for the likes of you anyway.
Jeez.
This is it. If this trial goes badly, Kazuma's dreams of studying abroad are over. And what's more...
Oh, you were cutting off again? Like, slightly?
Want me to reread that?
Yeah.
Kazuma's dreams of studying abroad are over. And what's more... I'll be found guilty of murder. And so... with absolutely no idea of what lay ahead, I embarked on that unforgettable trial.
Here we go! Tutorial time!
My one and only chance of proving my innocence. The trial that would decide my destiny.
Here we go. 22nd November, 9 o'clock a.m. Supreme Court of Judicature. Courtroom 2.
So this is a courtroom.
Look how nervous he is.
He's just looking everywhere. The Supreme Court of Judicature. No court in the land has more power. I don't much like the look of those people sitting in the public gallery. Lots of military and other uniforms in there. The powers that be have demanded that this be a secret trial. A secret trial?
Yeah, so this isn't, shown to the public.
A trial that's closed to ordinary members of the public. Only military and government officials may attend.
Which is crazy.
What? But why? It'll become clear in time, but for now... You need to concentrate, Ryunosuke. It's about to begin.
Here we go!
The court will now hear the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
The prosecution is ready, Your Excellency!
As is the defense. Before we begin, there is one point of order I would like to confirm. Yesterday evening, the defense made a last-minute request for a change of advocate. That's correct, Your Excellency. I made the request myself. Normal procedure is for defense advocacy to be decided 2 days prior to trial. As this is an unusual circumstance, I am obliged to ask for final confirmation now. Who advocates for the defendant in this trial?
Well, this is great.
This is it. This must be the question. Who's going to defend me? That's the question the professor meant. But then, if I say I do... I need to answer quickly. What should I do? Your Excellency, no comment is needed.
Oh, you're... Why do you keep cutting off? I'm so sad.
I hate this.
It's like super prominent today. You wanna try on getting out of Discord and coming back?
One moment.
Sorry for the technical difficulties, everyone.
Am I audible? Please tell me I am.
I can hear you. Yes.
Thank you. Anyway, Your Excellency, no confirmation is needed. As I'm standing here beside the defendant, I hope it's clear who would... What is the meaning of this unruly outburst? I would like to inform the court that I, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, will be defending myself.
This dumbass.
You'll be... What?! What are you playing at, Ryunosuke? Professor Mikotoba told me everything just now before the trial. He did what? He said that your dreams of studying abroad would be dashed if you were to lose. Sad. It means you don't have faith in me. You think I won't be able to get you off? No, it's not that, really. It's just that... Well, on the off chance that things don't go well for me, I couldn't bear to be the reason that you... Yes. I knew that's how you'd feel. Which is exactly why I decided not to tell you. Professor Mikotoba shouldn't have stuck his nose in. Very well. The court hereby recognizes the defendant's desire to advocate for himself in today's trial.
Well. Does the accused admit defeat already? Renounce to his own counsel, really?
Objection! Make no mistake, counsel.
Oh, you don't need to read the objections. They're voiced.
I know, but I just wanted to do it. This merely shows that the defendant's innocence is so apparent he's confident he can speak for himself. Isn't that so, Naruhodo-san? Oh! Yes, exactly! Exactly what I wasn't thinking! I'm not confident at all. Ugh. In fact, my mind's a complete blank.
Oh yeah, and like some of the referential things are like, this pose right here is basically the same as Phoenix's.
I realize you're in charge now, but still, try not to look so bewildered.
Well, for a mere university student to be brought before the Supreme Court, you must have perpetrated a most heinous crime indeed.
Oh! I saw the kanji on his fan. I believe it's the one for Sumi, as in sin. Oh, fun. As you are no doubt aware, this is the Supreme Court of Judicature of Japan. Accordingly, the very highest standards of conduct are expected of all present. Do I make myself clear? Defended Naruhodo. Yes, Your Excellency. It is therefore my duty to assess your competence for the task you have undertaken. My competence? What does that mean? He's questioning your ability to do the job. Well, he can't be questioning more than I am!
Yeah, because we're not a lawyer.
Yeah. So, let's start with the very simplest of questions. Oh, yes. Kindly state before the court the name of the victim in this case. Well, that's easy enough. I've heard his name more times than I care to remember. But... wait. I'm so nervous I can't even remember that. What was it again? Ryunosuke? Let me guess. Your mind's gone blank? You know me so well. All the relevant information for this case can be found in the court record.
Tutorial!
But I can't even find that. It's simple. You can access the court record with events of E.
Press the PE button.
If you ever find you've forgotten something, just consult that. It's all in there. I just have to press the E button for the court record? Alright, there's no time to lose. This is the list of evidence you've collected. Now try switching to people instead with E. You find details about the victim in here. When you're done, just press the Z button to go back.
Okay. So we can look through the characters here. So Kazuma Asugi, he's 23. A second year at the Imperial Yume University. He's my best friend, and despite being a student, a qualified defense lawyer as well. Yuji Mikitoba, 42. A medical school professor at the Imperial Yume University. He's an authority in forensic medicine and Kazuma's mentor.
Hang on! With that gray hair? The fuck?
He's 42. Taketsuji Aochi, 51, the lead prosecutor of this case, who would appear to have little love for the changes the cultural reformation has brought about. So, this character here is actually a reference to the original Ace Attorney series. This kind of guy, and his descendants tend to be dictatorial case prosecution. And, yeah. John H. Wilson, 47, the victim of this case. He was a visiting professor of medicine at Yume University from the British Empire. If you don't get the reference, this is 100% a Sherlock Holmes reference that they had to change for obviously the English localization. So yes, this is in fact a Watson character.
Oh my god.
We will see Sherlock Holmes later.
So remember, everything to do with the current case can be found in the court record.
Oh wait, I just realized did I read his profile?
You did, I think.
Okay, we can look at it. Well, let's read the evidence then. University collar pin. Proof that I'm a student at the Imperial Yume University. Always wear on the collar of my uniform jacket. Post-mortem report. Death occurred a little after 2 p.m. and was caused by loss of blood from a gunshot to the chest. The bullet did not pass through the victim's body. So that's the evidence that we have at the moment.
Now, you'd better not keep His Excellency waiting any longer. Go on. Find the victim in the People's Court record. The press R to present. Try it now. The victim's name was Dr. John H. Wilson.
Well, at least you can remember the name of an esteemed member of your own university.
Dr. Wilson was a visiting professor from England invited to Yume University 3 years ago. Indeed, which is the reason why this case has such profound implications. The British Empire is at present our country's most valuable foreign ally. And as most of you will be aware, we have just signed a new treaty together after lengthy negotiations. There can't be anyone who hasn't heard of the Anglo-Japanese Treaty of Friendship and Navigation.
And yet, despite these delicate circumstances, the blood of an Englishman has been spilt on our soil! You two are both undergraduates at the Imperial Yume University, are you not? Murdering a professor from the very institution that provides your education! Have you no honor?
Ah, but I didn't do it. This case is coming under great scrutiny from our allies on the other side of the world. The court therefore wishes for a speedy resolution to this matter. In other words, our feeble government is scared of upsetting England's policymakers. And you're a convenient and expendable scapegoat to blame for this crime. So that's why this trial has these unusual peculiarities, is it? Exactly. Our needs to convict someone as quickly as possible.
Your words cut off again.
Fucking... Exactly. Our government needs to convict someone as quickly as possible. All because the victim was an Englishman. Yes, Dr. Wilson was an Englishman. But nationalities and treaties won't make any difference for me here. The fact is, I was there at the scene of the crime. Oh dear, look at the time. I'd better be going. Alright, I'll see you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy this place a little longer. Good idea! After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. See you in English class tomorrow then, partner.
There he goes again!
Empire. Wow, it's incredible to think...
Your audio cut off at the beginning.
God damn it. The British Empire. Wow. It's incredible to think... Wait. I've seen that man at university. I'm sure he's a visiting professor from Great Britain. I don't know his name, but still, I should go and say hello. So I went over to the professor's table and introduced myself to Dr. Wilson. Now then, let me pose my next question to you, Defendant Naruhodo. Yes, Your Excellency. How did this professor of medicine, Dr. John H. Wilson, lose his life? State before the court the cause of death. The cause of death... Well, obviously that was... Ryunosuke...
The court record! Ryunosuke, the court record!
Remember that in court, every assertion must be backed up by evidence.
Ryunosuke, the court record!
By evidence? But how?
The court record!
Find the piece of evidence that shows the professor's cause of death and select present. Do it now! Well... According to this document, the victim suffered a hemorrhagic death due to gunshot trauma?
Let her read, you imbecile! That's the post-mortem report, I take it?
Sorry, yes! That's right, the, post-mortem report. In the West, a doctor dissects corpses to identify the cause of death in an autopsy. But here in Japan, a police officer merely inspects the body and draws conclusions that way.
Huh.
Oh, I see! As long as I'm not going to be tested on any of this later.
This is a so-called photographic print of the scene of the crime. You can clearly discern scorch marks around the bullet hole produced by the powder explosion. In other words, we should assume that the victim was shot at close range. There's no blood though, which is weird.
Thank you, counsel. The court will accept this modern scientific evidence into the record.
The photographic print of the victim has been entered into the court record.
So that's a photographic print. Well, that's something I've never seen before. Oh, we should read the description of it.
Oh, we'll be able to see it later.
Fair enough. It's clearly superior to a drawing. The detail is incredible. Very well. I am satisfied with your answers. Let us start the trial.
Alright. Certainly, Your Excellency! So, without further ado, in order to better apprise the court with the facts of the case, the prosecution hereby calls its first witness, who was there at the scene of the crime when it happened.
Oh, this is it then. I think I may have worked out what the professor had in mind. The professor? You mean Dr. Mikotoba? Yes. Clearly, you're the defense lawyer today, not me. But that doesn't mean... Well, I can still act as your assistant. Ah! Of course! When he was speaking with me before, he simply said, Kazuma Asogi must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. He really has been sticking his oar in, hasn't he?
He sure has.
Maybe, but any help you can give me would be greatly appreciated, Kazuma. Well, my first piece of advice is, rein in that crazy look of bewilderment and control the cold sweat.
Yeah.
Only if you'd rein in that crazy headband and control the cold stares first.
Do you want me to read the stuff for the witnesses?
I think I'll go case by case.
Okay. Because I don't know, like, how much you want to be reading.
I mean, I'm fine with it.
Witness! State your name and occupation for the court, please!
Of course. My name is Satoru Hosonaga. I am the head waiter at a Western-styled restaurant called La Carnival. Are you all... You seem to be coughing up some...
You cut off again.
Oh, god damn it. Are you alright? You seem to be coughing up some... It's a regular occurrence. It really doesn't bother me.
Welcome to Ace Attorney, where characters are very quirky.
It mildly. Well, it really, really should.
As everyone knows, the capital southeastern corner was developed for foreign visitors some years ago. It's become a very fashionable district now, full of hotels to accommodate overseas guests. This grim crime occurred in one of the district's so-called restaurants, an Occidental eatery, 3 days ago.
Understood. Hosonaga-san, you will kindly tell the court everything you can about the incident. At once, sir.
And no petty interjections from the aspiring lawyer boy, please.
Oh, perspiring maybe, but aspiring? It was just after 2 p.m. on the day in question. We have few diners at that time of day. The lunchtime rush was over, and there were only 3 tables still occupied. That fits in with my memory of it too. There was hardly anyone else in the place. It was when I was in the kitchen putting away crockery and cutlery. A gunshot rang out, so I hurried out to the dining area to see what had happened. I found the victim, an English gentleman, slumped in his chair. And standing immediately beside him, gun in hand, was the accused university student. Hold on! Let me just clarify something here. While I did pick up a gun that I found lying on the floor beside the professor, I didn't shoot him.
I believe I asked you to refrain from petty interjections. Courage to listen to the witness's report on what he saw, you amateur!
But... The next time you interrupt an inappropriate time, you will be penalized, Defendant Naruhodo. Don't worry, Ryunosuke. You'll have your chance to fight back. For now, we must just quietly listen to the witness.
If I may confirm one point, waiter. Standing beside the victim with a gun in his hand was the same man we see here in court today.
Yes, without question.
I see. And apart from the accused, was there anyone else standing beside the victim?
No. There was no one else around that table but the deceased Englishman and the university student. Huh? Wait, what did he just say? There was no one else around that table? What's the matter, Ryunosuke? That's just not right! When I went over to Dr. Wilson to say hello, there was a woman sitting opposite him at his table. Really? And that's not something the waiter could have missed! I've been warned about interjecting, but still, what should I do? Wait and see, I think, is the right choice here. I desperately want to say something, but I was told not to interject. Ryunosuke, if your parents tell you to study, you're the kind of man who would diligently get to work, aren't you? I suppose I am. I'd never have gone into Yume University else. But you can't just always follow the rules in life, you know? If you don't say what you want to say right now, you'll seriously regret it when you're found guilty. Alright, you scared me. I won't forget that piece of advice in a hurry. And there is something I want to say. I'm just going to shut my eyes and say it.
Ah yes, the illusion of choice!
Just a moment, please. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone that day. I'm sure of it. There was a lady sitting with him at the same table.
Dear me, what are we going to do with you? With your blatant disregard for court proceedings, I need to wonder if you're not a fraud. Could it be that the accused, this mere student, is not a real lawyer after all?
But I'm sure of what I saw. Also, Naga-san, is there any chance you're mistaken? Perhaps your memory of events is hazy? No. The deceased gentleman came to dine alone. I don't believe it! I actually have a rough plan of the restaurant as it was that day. Please, have a look if you'd like to. Let me see. Ah, a sketch of the establishment's layout drawn by yourself, I presume? That's right. I'm afraid I used the back of my business card. It was a turbulent situation. However, as you can see, the gentleman in question was seated alone. Well, you're clearly a very conscientious waiter. Yes, sir. The court will take this plan and add to the court record as evidence. Oh, well... Is there a problem? Hand the plan to the court officer at once. Of course. Here you are. What was that about? He's been completely calm and collected until now. Something certainly seems to have shaken him.
The waiter's business card has been entered into the court record. So, the court has now heard a process of the case.
Yes, at the moment the gunshot was heard in the restaurant. The only person in close proximity to the victim was the defendant on trial today.
You know what? If it's just the word that's cut off, I'm not gonna call it out. You are still getting cut off, though.
God damn it. It would seem we are looking at a black and white case here. Defendant Naohiro. Yes, Your Excellency. If you admit your guilt at this stage, the court is willing to look mercifully upon you.
In other words, you may have some small reprieve in terms of your inevitable punishment. I called this waiter as an unsworn witness in order to explain the details of the case to the court. I must warn the defense, if you are determined to pursue matters further in this trial. The prosecution has decisive evidence from sworn witnesses who were present at the scene of the crime.
What do you think I should do, Kazuma? What do you mean? Well, I'm going to be found guilty one way or another, it seems. Wouldn't it be sensible to plead guilty at this stage and hope for a more lenient sentence? Everyone keeps telling me this trial is unusual, about these peculiarities. You've said it, Professor Mikotova said it, and so has the judge and the prosecution. I'm scared of what lies ahead if I push this. As I said from the outset, I believe you're innocent. I trust you. And yet, despite knowing that, you're willing not to throw it back in my face? Is that it? What? If the accused is in fact innocent, then a defense lawyer is duty-bound to prove that innocence by whatever means necessary. Are you just going to abandon that duty? Are you going to give up on yourself? The battle hasn't even begun yet, Ryunosuke. The defense pleads not guilty, Your Excellency.
Man, I really love, like, the sprite work in this, like, the 3D modeling in this. Like, look at just, like, the dynamic between the two of them.
We invite the prosecution to stop making empty threats and bring out its witnesses. Then we'll see just how decisive this evidence really is. Indeed. Prosecutor Ouchie, please continue with proceedings.
Well, you are warned. They can be so reckless. You know, when they call me a saint, I can be a devil when I want to be.
Ugh.
A few short moments from now, that dumbstruck young mouth of yours will be silenced forever. A prosecution calls its next witness.
Very well. Officer, bring forth the witnesses at once.
Yeah, so I heard you like multiple witnesses. Witnesses.
Sorry.
Witnesses, kindly state your names and occupations for the court.
Yes, sir! The Great Nippon Imperial Army's Sergeant Ivesanosa, reporting for duty, sir! Myself, I find employ as a purveyor of the fine articles of antiquity from the effluences of our nation, Nippon. And conduct my trade from Raste, a humble premises in the 2nd District. Curio Correcta at your service. Oh my god! The pun!
Yeah. Get used to it. Ace Attorney is especially egregious about it.
God. An antique dealer and a soldier. What an unusual pairing.
Both of these gentlemen were present at the restaurant on the day in question.
They must be the diners at the other table that the waiter mentioned. Myself, I habitually take tea for most of the exquisite aroma at the establishment in question. Always noon.
Oh, you're cutting off again.
Ah. Let's try that again then. Myself, I habitually take tea of the most exquisite aroma at the establishment in question.
Why is it not?
Always post noon.
Give me a moment.
What the heck? Is it still cutting off anyway?
Hold on. No, that's not that.
Okay.
I have to ban someone from chat.
Ah.
Oh, yeah,
Alright,
do read the line again, though. Sorry about that.
Alright. Myself, I habitually take tea of the most exquisite aroma at the establishment in question, always post-noon. And, not infrequently, converse with interested parties regarding the curios with which I make my business. I can't understand a word that old man is saying! He's an antique dealer, and it sounds like he's a regular at La Carnival. He seeks out potential customers who may have an interest in antiques and tries to sell his wares to them. He obviously targets La Carnival because it's a high-class restaurant with rich clientele. Right, I see. Although, to be honest, that sergeant looks more like he'd be a seller rather than a buyer.
Now, you both witnessed the precise moment of this most atrocious incident. Is that correct?
Affirmative! The enemy unit was seen attacking the foreigner in what can only be described as an act of war, sir! It was the black uniformed rogue infantryman over there who unloaded his firearms, sir! Oh, this man's as impossible to understand as the other. But I'm almost sure I heard a strange noise during that last thing he said. So, this is the decisive evidence the prosecution was threatening. The soldier is claiming that he actually saw the precise moment you shot the victim dead. Yes? Well, are you starting to feel uncomfortable? If I'm honest, I was feeling uncomfortable from the start. Now, the court will hear your formal testimony, please. You will state everything you saw at the precise moment that the incident occurred. Sir, yes, sir! Standing by, ready to report, sir! Unsavory memories of a most acerbic afternoon.
What the witnesses saw.
I was ingesting a regulation beef steak at the restaurant while having a tactical discussion with the old man. Myself, I was extolling the virtues of a particularly fine golden curio to the military gentleman. At that precise moment, a firearm was discharged. I observed the enemy's actions with my own eyes. The black uniformed varsity cadet fired on the English civilian, and from the back, the cowardly little weasel. I was on my hands and knees investigating the whereabouts of my mysteriously absconded precious curio. Well, so you, Sergeant Nosa, actually witnessed the vital moment. You saw the split second when the defendant fired the weapon at the victim. Yes, sir! Affirmative, sir! That wicked university cadet, sir! The cruel and unforgiving enemy! What times we live in when an English gentleman may be assailed in the broad light of day. But this is ridiculous! I didn't shoot anyone! Is that really true, Yunosuke? Yes, all I did was pick up the knife lying on the floor. After I'd said hello to Dr. Wilson, I went back to my table and sat drinking some coffee. Then, when I'd finished, I got up from my seat to leave the restaurant. When I noticed an English-made gun next to the chair where the professor was sitting. I thought perhaps the professor had dropped it. So I bent down, and just as I was picking it up... Well, if that's the truth, there was obviously a criminal on the scene somewhere. And somewhere in these two witnesses' testimonies, there's a clue who that criminal was. There is? Yunosuke, you must exercise your right to cross-examine the witnesses. Cross-examine?
My favorite part! Cross-examination!
Do it now!
As we heard, Your Excellency, there is no room for doubt in the testimony of these witnesses. The defendant is clearly guilty. It is time to bring this despicable student to justice!
Certainly, the testimony the court has just heard eliminates any vestige of doubt. Therefore, it is my grave duty to declare the verdict of this trial. What in the name of the Emperor is the meaning of this outburst? The defense demands its right to a cross-examination.
Dear me. Let me guess. The Hachimaki headband boy next door told me to do it. How pathetic.
Huh? How did he know?
The prosecution objects! A clear waste of time. The defendant obviously has no experience. How can he possibly carry out a cross-examination?
The defense is asserting its right to a cross-examination. Whether or not you think he's capable of it is irrelevant. Kazuma is so commanding!
Homosexuals!
Very well. Let the defense conduct a cross-examination of the witnesses. Alright, this is where the battle really begins, Ryunosuke. But I don't even know what I have to do in a cross-examination. Isn't it obvious? You have to expose the lies in the witnesses' statements. How? You didn't fire the gun, which means what that soldier said has to be a lie. Well, yes, but it's just a case of proving it, and the key to doing that is evidence. Right, evidence. All you need to do is present some decisive and indisputable evidence that proves the witness is lying. Now let's go, Ryunosuke. Don't let them beat you. Alright then. It's all or nothing.
Tutorial case, here we go. Oh, so you don't have to reread these. Because it's the same of the stuff that we just heard.
Yeah, I figured.
What the witnesses saw. Okay.
I feel like I already know what the contradiction is, to be honest.
I know where it is, I think.
Yeah.
I think we need to press on it though, because I don't think we have the evidence for it.
Time to press, I guess.
Can I go back? Actually, what do we... Oh no, not that.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was it. No, I think we go to...
The fourth of these statements, I think. Wait.
Hold on, let me double check. Oh wait, no, we don't need to press. We could just do this.
What are you playing at, cadet? What's the meaning of this subordination? Thrusting some photographic print in my mustache. Instancy, sir. I mean, yes. There's a clear inconsistency here.
What nonsense! This print policy tells us that we already know!
Well, obviously, that, I know I want to say, but the words just won't come out of my mouth.
I think this proves beyond any doubt, Your Excellency, that there is no place for an amateur student here in this grand courtroom.
This is so frustrating. Oh, please. Surely this doesn't require an explanation. It couldn't be more plain. To spell it out would be an insult to the court. Kazuma, what?
What are you talking about?
It's apparent from a single glance at the photographic print presented by the defense that there's a clear discrepancy here with the sergeant's statement.
What?
Sergeant Yasunosa. Yes, sir. What, sir? The statement you just made was this. The black uniformed varsity cadet fired on the English civilian, and from the back, the cowardly little weasel. Yes, sir. Affirmative, sir. I witnessed the crime with my own military-grade eyes, sir. But no, that just can't be. And why not, cadet? Because... Take a close look at the print. The victim, Dr. Wilson, died from a bullet wound to the chest. Sergeant, according to your witness statement, the culprit shot the victim from behind. And that is the obvious discrepancy here. Well, how do you explain it?
Little baby!
What the? What was that? Somebody just popped up from behind his back, but he pushed it down again.
He's carrying a little child!
Certainly there's a clear... God. Certainly there's a clear discrepancy with the facts here. Would you not agree, Sergeant Nozo? Yes, sir. At this juncture, that would appear to be disputable. Until the moment I heard the firearm discharge, my eyes were...
Look at the little baby.
Oh, that explains the...
The crying noises you heard earlier, yeah.
Yeah. Firmly fixed on a delicious nut carnival steak, sir!
What?!
The last testimony in the court heard has proven one thing beyond all reasonable doubt. This witness, Sergeant Yasanosa, did not see the defendant firing a gun at all.
Ah! That's absurd!
I think the conclusion we must draw is simple. There is no place for an amateur prosecutor here in this grand courtroom.
Look at Ryunosuke's face in the background. Inconsistency here. For having successfully presented evidence during the first cross-examination was achievement.
There's been a complete turnabout in the mood of this trial just from that one discrepancy. So this is what being an ace attorney is all about. Title drop!
Title drop. Thanks, game. This is such a strong trial now, but I have to do this.
But I definitely saw him! That university cadet, there! He was pointing the firearm directly at the victim's back! But I never fired the gun! All I did was pick it up off the floor! And you, old man, you didn't see the moment the victim was shot either? Myself, I have already been quite clear. The gunshot interested me not. I was far too busy on the floor. Too busy on the floor? Sorry, what were you doing? Hunting for treasure. Treasure? Indeed! The Hoyer Kaban! Coin! On each occasion when I visit that restaurant, it is my habitude to place in my bosom pocket a particular trinket of interest from my shop, Roste. In the hope of meeting a rich diner whom I like to buy it from you? On the day on the scrutiny, it was to be the military man I proffered my Hoy treasure. Believed that he would purchase such a rare find, I did not, but I was presented with no alternative. And then, after averting my eyes for the briefest of moments, it was there no more. It simply vanished.
Come on! Vanished?
Hunting around under the table I was, in case mayhap it had fallen there, and then it happened.
Heard the gunshot.
You heard the gunshot, you mean?
But he didn't see it.
Yeah. Indeed I did, but I heeded not, for I was concerned only with finding my absconded hoy treasure. Nothing could distract me! Out of interest, did you find the coin in the end? No. I see. That lamentable day, the precious Hoy Koban was lost to me. No doubt some unscrupulous scoundrel pocketed the prize coin for himself.
Well, I wonder who the culprit of that is.
As I'm sure everyone present is aware, this case demands a swift and decisive resolution. Our government has promised to send a full report to Great Britain by telegraph this very afternoon. Nevertheless, the witness testimony the court has just heard is conclusive. No matter how subservient our government feels it must be to the British, it would be unforgivable to deliver a verdict on this trial right now. What is your position, Prosecutor Alchi?
Why not, Your Excellency? The defendant may have fled a tiger at the front gate, but you'll find a wolf at the back. My witnesses have further testimony to make.
Explain.
Upon hearing Dudek's statements, it will become abundantly clear that there is only one person who could possibly have committed this despicable crime. Equally despicable defendant, Ryunosuke Naruto!
What? He really seems to have a despicable opinion of you, doesn't he? Very well. The court invites the witnesses to testify again. You will thoroughly explain the reasoning behind the prosecution's allegation. Is that clear? As clear as curical glass, Your Excellency. Yes, sir! At once, sir! Awaiting signal to testify, sir! Excuse me, but there's something or someone peeking out over your shoulder, I think. Affirmative! The newest member of the No Such family to rise up for the ranks, sir. Name, Ido. It would seem those straps are a sign of the sergeant being too strapped to afford a nanny.
Damn.
Idle tension! Your fire is a quell the enemy. Watch and learn, my boy. Aww.
That little baby. This child! The true culprit.
Even if I saw it was a precise moment the firearm was charged, it's almost the same thing! Yes, pointing his gun at the foreign man, he was that young lad in black. That much I myself did see. Furthermore, a visual search of the premises at the time confirmed that we were the only personnel present. Indeed, alone he was, the Englishman, dining all by himself. Therefore, no one under the black uniform connected with his vast the Englishman. Over and out. These testimonies are certainly... Wait, that's nonsense! The victim, Dr. Wilson, wasn't alone at all!
Please, enough of those outbursts already!
But there was a woman. There was a young woman at his table. You must have seen her. Everyone there must have seen her.
If you call yourself a lawyer, then you will respect the rules of the court and speak accordingly. We're not here to listen to your fantasies! It's evident beyond all reasonable doubt that the victim was alone at the time of the incident. Prosecution has photographic evidence of this fact.
Is this a photographic print of the scene of the crime, counsel?
Indeed, on the table on which the victim was dining, taken by an investigator immediately after the incident. As can plainly be seen, there is only one playset.
Certainly, based on the appearance of this print, it would be reasonable to conclude that the victim was not in the company of anyone else. This doesn't make any sense. The court will add this new photographic evidence to the record.
The photograph of the crime scene has been entered into the court record.
I don't understand. What's going on here? It's just not possible that nobody else saw that woman. The waiter before said the same thing. He maintains that Dr. Wilson came to a restaurant alone as well. But that's not true. I saw her. I swear that I saw a woman with him. It would seem that we'll be able to telegraph the report the Great Burn on time after all. The witness testimonies we have just heard leave no further room for doubt.
These are very sensitive political times, as we all know, being so fresh in a treaty with Great Britain. Today I, Takatsuchi, will contribute to the amity of these two great empires as an honor!
How can this be happening? The judge is ready to rule! Stand tall, Ryunosuke. It's not over yet.
We still need to cross-examine the witnesses.
What? If what you say is true, then there's something going on here behind the scenes. And now is your chance to expose it, to draw out the truth, in your cross-examination. I don't know, Kazuma. The defense is entitled to cross-examine the witnesses, but make it quick. Understood?
Rules can be so unbending at times. Okay. Hold on, I need to compare something real quick. I might have to press in this one specifically. Oh, did we lose you?
What do you think, Ryunosuke? Sorry, I was a little distracted. What's the matter? I can't find anything. I can't find a clear discrepancy anywhere. I'm done for. I can't win this trial. No, 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 no. Listen, the first thing to do is calm down. You can't expect witness statements to be full of holes every time. So just take your time and try to tease more information out of them first. What do you mean? You can choose to either press or present against each of the witness statements. If a witness is saying something you're suspicious about, press him on it with Q. With a little luck, you may get more details, which could prove to be crucial. Right, I see. The important point is, there's no sense in holding back. If anything even slightly jars with you, press the witnesses on it, and press them hard. Got it. I'll press them like blocks of tofu. The professor wasn't alone in the restaurant, I'm sure of it. In one way or another, this cross-examination is going to prove I'm right. it's time to press them for all they're worth. My fate depends on it. You must have noticed someone else at Dr. Wilson's table. There was a lady there.
As you have been at pains to point out time and again, I feel I'm growing callous in my ear. Yeah, Asogi's great. And yet no one else even appears to have even caught even a glimpse of this woman.
If only there had been more people dining there at the time, then someone else would have noticed her. Unfortunately, it was already past 2 p.m. when it happened. A quiet time between lunch and dinner in any restaurant. I know. Of course the place was almost empty. It's what you'd expect. Certainly, 2 p.m. is neither here nor there in terms of a time to eat. I wonder if there was a reason why the victim was eating at that time of day, and why he was alone.
I'd eat at 2 p.m. Yes, Your Excellency. There was indeed a reason.
There was?
This was found in the victim's jacket pocket.
What is that, Counsel?
It's a medical report card, Your Excellency. It was seen that the victim had employment at a clinic prior to visiting the restaurant.
Clinic? Yes, there would indeed appear to be an entry for the day in question. 19th November, noon to past 1 p.m. The very day of the incident.
But the victim went for a late lunch following his appointment. This mission couldn't be more simple. The prosecution felt no need to submit this evidence before, as it really has no bearing on the case.
I wonder. What do you think, Ryunosuke? Well, it is hard to see how it could be related, really. Remember, you can request for it to be entered into the courtroom as record as evidence if you think it could be useful. Should I ask for Dr. Wilson's medical report card to be submitted as evidence or not?
Yes. We'll take it.
If I may, I'd like to ask for that medical report card to be submitted as evidence, Your Excellency.
On what ground? The court has already heard inclusive witness testimony. Additional evidence would be extraneous. To mention that the victim's movements prior to his arrival at the restaurant are no concern.
Whether or not they are of no concern is up to us to decide. We have a right to explore all possible avenues.
I beg your pardon?
You have no authority to refuse a perfectly valid request for the submission of evidence. Very well. The court will grant the defense's request.
Youngsters today are very asserting their rights. It's the most disturbing trend.
Officer, kindly add the victim's medical report card to the court record.
Alright. Let's actually look through it.
What we need right now is new clues. We have to explore things from every possible angle, even if they don't seem relevant at first. Right, I hear you.
You can spy to prolong this trial as much as you like, but it's the day after the festival already for you. Or perhaps you'd forgotten that these witness testimonies leave no room for doubt. Feel free to reiterate for the accused, Kurikuta-san. Okay, hold on. Can't use this right now, I think.
Yeah.
I guess we'll just press every statement until we find something.
No, it's not the same thing at all! For a start, I didn't fire that gun! We have a difference of opinion on that. The opinion of an ununiformed officer versus that of a fledgling cadet. I don't think so.
Consider this, defendant. Just a moment ago, I blinked.
Did you?
Did you see it? Did you see me blink?
How could I?
And yet, it is an undeniable fact that I did blink. So there you have it.
Have what? Tension! The sound of firearm rang in my ears, and the very next moment, I saw you waving the gun at the Englishman.
I think that says all, don't you? Let's not forget the antiques dealer witnessed the accused most incriminating position as well. Is that so, Kurikuta-san?
Yes, it may be true that I was holding the gun at that point in time. But I've told you already, that's only because I picked it up off the floor.
Well, obviously, as a culprit, that's the only way you would explain it away.
I had just finished drinking my coffee and I was about to leave the restaurant when I noticed a gun on the floor at Dr. Wilson's feet, so I picked it up. And at exactly that moment, a gun rang in my ears. Full of events beyond our control, life is. Sorry? What do you mean? In your case, you found the pistol on the floor and picked it up, which precipitated this testing predicament. Whereas conversely, I failed to pick up the Koban from the floor and find myself in an equally testing predicament as a result. Anyway, the fact remains, myself, I did see you. With pistol in hand, standing over the foreigner.
And we pressed this one already, right?
I think we did, yeah. So you actually saw that with your own eyes, did you? The victim, Dr. Will, dining alone. That I did. Forgive me for the position I placed you in.
The testimonies of all man, a soldier, and a waiter all agree on that point. Isn't that interesting? Let's not forget, the incontestable evidence we have to support their statements as well. As clearly be seen, there's only a single beefsteak on the victim's table. A meal for one.
Oh, no. The antique dealer, the sergeant, and the waiter who testified before. It's not impossible that they're all lying. But if so, then why? If I'm perfectly honest, I have absolutely no idea. Why aren't you telling the truth? What? What did you say, Cadet? I clearly remember. There was a woman sitting across the table from the professor. Perhaps one of you might not have noticed. But for both of you to have failed to see the professor's dining companion, it's just not possible. Unfortunately for you, Defendant Naruhodo, it's not just a case of these two witnesses alone. Sorry? The waiter, whose testimony the court heard earlier, clearly stated the same thing. He You also said that the victim was alone. That's right.
Precisely, in other words. You're the sole proponent, this phantom lady.
But I...
Such women were indeed present at the scene. Prosecution demands to see proof.
Ugh.
No such proof exists. Prosecution demands that no further mention of this phantom woman be made. It's a blatant waste of the court's time.
There's nothing I can say to that. Excellent work, Ryunosuke. We've gleaned some new information now. Well, yes, but I don't feel like it changes much. I can't see that it brings any real discrepancies to light. I wouldn't be so sure. Let me see that medical report card you got before. Oh, you mean this? Yes, this is a brand new piece of evidence.
Time to investigate it.
So perhaps we should examine it in a little more detail. How exactly? You'll notice that some pieces of evidence bear a magnifying glass. These are the ones you may examine. Space, and you can take a closer look at the piece in question. Use up, left, down, and right to rotate the evidence in all directions and examine it from all angles. By using WASD, you can move the crosshairs around to hunt for clues that may have been missed before. If the crosshairs start to pulsate, press space to investigate further. So, partner, I think you should take a close look at the medical report card. See if there isn't something new to be learned by examining it in more detail. Alright, I'll see what I can do. I need to use up, left, down, right, WASD, and space to inspect any areas of the evidence that look suspicious. It says Hota Clinic on this medical report card.
Also, Hana Clinic is a clinic that shows up a lot in Ace Attorney, so like this is a reference as well.
Of course. I hate clinics almost as much as I hate hospitals and surgeries. Aren't they all the same? When I was 5, I caught the only cold I've ever had in my life. And I remember, even though I felt awful already, I had to have this hideous injection in my right arm. Ugh, I'll never forget. Never in my whole life! Most people would give their right arm to have had only one cold in their whole life. Anyway, I don't think this is a clinic where they treat people for illnesses like that. Let's keep looking for clues. We don't want to miss anything. I don't think we looked at the... Oh, wait, there. Time to open it up. Let's have a look. There's some kind of medical history. Ah, and there's an entry for the day the professor was killed. Extraction of molar with topical anesthesia. Extraction of molar? You mean he had a tooth taken out? It would seem so. Just before the incident, he had a bad tooth removed. Perhaps laughing gas. That's the most modern practice in the West for pain relief. Yes, I've heard this anesthesia. Although it's hard to believe there's anything that can actually stop you feeling pain. Ah, there's a cautionary note from the medical practitioner as well. Strictly no food or drink besides water for 3 hours post-procedure until anesthesic effects have passed.
Wow! Evidence that proves he couldn't possibly be eating!
Really? Sounds like information worth bearing in mind. This new information, the meaning of that one particular statement totally changes. So, I think it's time we listen to the testimony again, don't you? Definitely.
I know exactly which statement and where to put it. What one's that? I think it's either this one or the other one.
I think it's the dining statement.
Oh yeah, this one.
Well, I think, about what are you weltering, lad? Call yourself a lawyer? I wish I could. But first and foremost here, I'm the accused. Ryunosuke. Everyone stumbles on their words occasionally. Under the circumstances, I wouldn't worry about it. Thanks, Kazuma. I could see it quite clearly in that cross-examination you just carried out. When you raised your hand straight up like that, so purposefully, you knew exactly what it was you wanted to say. Don't feel like you have to choose your words carefully. Just say what you're thinking. Alright. And thanks for the advice. Korekta-san, this is a medical report card belonging to the victim. Oh, I see. And I don't see. What of it, boy? Comparing what is written on this report card with your witness statement, something clearly doesn't add up.
Dear me, have you forgotten my words so soon, you amateur?
Sorry, what?
You're not to interrupt court proceedings with your amateurish dribble.
But...
Let's see if I can explain in words you might understand. It was after 2 p.m. in the afternoon when the victim was murdered in the restaurant. Whatever he may or may not have done before that time is completely irrelevant.
But that's... Remember, Ryunosuke, you don't have to use clever language or fancy words. Just make your point.
Excellency, I believe we're finished here. There's surely no need to prolong this trial further. Witness testimonies the court has heard has been clear and concise. This medical report card has no bearing on the matter at all, for the simple reason that there is no one else besides this pale-faced pupil who could possibly have perpetrated the crime.
This medical report card has nothing to do with the case? Do you really believe that?
What? The outbursts have petrified me, boy! Of course I believe it. How could it possibly be relevant?
Perhaps because Hota Clinic, which issued the report card, is a dental clinic.
A dental clinic? It's supposed to mean something to me?
Perhaps if I told you that the victim had just had a tooth extracted? What's this now? And furthermore, if I told you that as a result, the victim had been forbidden from eating, Just what are you trying to say, cadet? He had orders not to eat, so what? It's all written up in here. No food or drink other than water for 3 hours post-procedure while anesthesia wears off.
What? No! That can't!
Korekta-san! What, boy? What? As you just heard, when he was killed, sometime shortly after 2 p.m., the victim couldn't have been eating anything at all. No! Additionally, there's more. You have assured the court with unwavering self-confidence that the victim was dining alone. But that cannot possibly be the case! Because the victim, as we now know, had just had one of his teeth extracted and was still experiencing the effects of an anesthetic. Ah! Expertly done, partner.
What is this nonsense, you little upstart? These are baseless accusations! Just look at this photograph evidence! You clearly see the painted foot at the victim's table!
Use your head. That's the very discrepancy we're talking about. Why can't you follow the logic?
How dare you!
I think it's fair to say that the tables in this restaurant case have turned. Wouldn't you agree, Ryunosuke? Yes, most definitely. So, having just undergone some dental surgery, the victim was unable to eat. Which leaves one very crucial conundrum. Who, in fact, was eating the pictured beefsteak? The court will hear the opinion of the defense on this new puzzle. I assume you're ready, counsel? Counsel? Oh! That means me, doesn't it? Alright, the answer to this question is going to be pivotal. This is the start of you turning this trial around. Show him what you're made of.
Here we go!
Got it! So, the person eating the steak at the victim's table must have been...
Wow, it's totally not obvious.
Obviously, it can only have been someone else who was sitting at the professor's table.
Do not let us go, will you? There was no such person!
There was, because I saw her. When the incident occurred, we know that the victim couldn't have been eating anything. Yet we have a half-eaten steak on his table. Therefore, the only logical conclusion is that there was somebody else there eating it.
Ah!
We have strong evidence to support our assertion. It's clear that these witness testimonies are unreliable. If the court decides to push through a ruling at this stage, we will lodge a formal complaint with the Ministry of Justice and pursue a fair retrial, relentlessly. Kazuma,
Are you insane? You would take on the government?
don't worry, counsel. I have no issue with you.
What do you mean?
I have issue with them. Those two witnesses in the stand. What are you talking about? We have demonstrated with evidence that the victim was not... So, if it now turns out that the two of you deliberately lied when giving your testimonies, obviously, you will be charged with perjury. Perjury? And, since this is a murder trial, you will also be deemed complicit in the killing. Complicit in murder? No! Negative! There was no mention of this at the tactical meeting! I was just fathers! That's right, as the man says! Just say you never saw the gentleman, that's what they, told us.
Well.
Oh. What? What did you just say, Korekta-san? Oh, no. You were just following orders? No, hold on, lad, I was, Say you never saw the gentlewoman? When you say gentlewoman, do you mean you saw the victim with a lady from overseas? What?
What is the meaning of all this? So what this is? Gave false statements? It's true, you pair.
Just one simple slip of the tongue. Order! Order! Counsel, explain what is going on here. It's painfully clear now, you tried to prevent these witnesses from telling the truth.
Absolutely not! The prosecution knows nothing of this!
Then who's behind this? Who tried to make you keep your mouth shut? Well,
Oh my god.
that's classified! So you're prepared to be tried as a conspirator to this murder, are you? You wouldn't! This can't be happening!
It's a baby!
Just tugging a mustache.
Tugging your daddy's mustache.
Inosuke, judging from the way they're reacting to this, I'd say they were sworn to science by someone with considerable influence. However, I don't believe Aochi had any idea about it. What are you saying? I mean, to wield that kind of influence, there are only a handful of possibilities. It could have only been the government, the military, or the police, I suppose. Well? Any ideas about who might be behind this? If we can affirm who tried to silence these witnesses, then we can continue our pursuit. So we need to name whoever it was that tried to make the witnesses keep their mouths shut. Of course, we'll need evidence before we make any firm accusations. Evidence that proves whoever it was really did wield his or her power here. But how? How can we possibly... Remember how we made progress before? Before?
Pressing evidence, examining evidence.
We examined this piece of evidence in more detail and found a new clue as a result. Oh yes, that's right. Well, that's not the only piece of evidence we have, is it?
We can examine other pieces of evidence.
We need to re-examine everything and make sure there's nothing we've missed.
I already know which evidence to look at, I think.
There's no time to lose. I want answers! If it's proven that these witnesses have been manipulated, I assure you, the penalty will be severe.
Please! Wait! Your Excellency! No idea about any of this! Sort of every shit show gone! Nothing!
And what does the defense have to say about all this, hmm? Well, Your Excellency... No time to think. I'm just going to have to close my eyes and shout the first name that comes into my head. Besides the prosecution, the only person with the necessary influence to manipulate the witnesses is...
So what we have to do...
We can't switch over, can we?
No, it
To
doesn't look
the
like it.
evidence?
Doesn't look like we can.
Huh. Well, surely that would be Sato Hosonaga-san.
Let's go quickly hit the court record, though. Let's see if we can actually examine it now.
Oh! Time to have a look.
There it
Chief
is.
Inspector Sato Hosonaga, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Office Bureau.
He's a police officer.
In secret. Well, that's unexpected. What is? Look, you see it says the witness's name here? Sato Hosonaga. Well, yes, business cards do tend to show the person's name. That's sort of the point. It's not the name that's unexpected. It's his job title. His job? Oh! Chief Inspector Satoru Sanaga, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau. Inspector? What on earth? I have no idea. But let's face it, the police have a lot of power and influence. If they're wielding it somehow here... Let's look at the new description. A sketch of the restaurant's layout is on the back. On the front, it says that Hosonaga-san is a police inspector. Well, Hosonaga-san, the waiter who took the stand earlier.
Poppycock! What's more reason could a waiter have to make these witnesses give false testimony? Imagine the fact that even a head waiter would not possibly have that level of influence.
For once, I would agree with you. If, that is, the man truly were a waiter.
What? If he truly were?
Come on, Miyanosuke. Time to hit this court with the truth. The truth about Satoru Hosanaga's real identity, as proven by this evidence. The plan of the restaurant sketched by the man in question? I agree it shows a great deal of attention to detail, but I'm not sure we can conclude anything. Sorry, Your Excellency. That's the back of the card. It's the back of the card that's of interest. I beg your pardon. Or perhaps I should have sent the front? Yes! It's the front of the back of the... Oh my god.
Go read that over! Read that sentence over! Read that line over!
Yes! It's the front and back of the card! That's where the telling detail is!
God, dumbass.
Would somebody please explain what overexcited student is trying to say? Osanaga-san sketched the plan of the restaurant on the reverse side of his business card. The front of that business card reveals the man in question's profession, his true profession.
Look at Ryunosuke. He looks like he done fucked up.
The waiter's profession? But that's surely... Good gracious! That's right, Your Excellency. Card reads, Chief Inspector, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Office Bureau.
What? The waiter is police detective! I haven't heard you mention this before!
The Imperial Police Bureau has immense power. Absolute power, as far as regular civilians are concerned. So, witnesses there in the stand... Was it in fact the waiter who gave you orders? Was it he who told you not to mention that you'd seen this foreign gentleman at the scene? Well... Inspector Hosonaga! I was worried something like this may happen. The moment you asked me to submit my sketch as evidence, I realized it was a possibility. The court will take this plan and add to the court record as evidence. Well... Is there a problem? Hand the plan to the court officer at once. Of course. Here you are. Yes, I remember now. He did act strangely when the judge asked him to hand over his business card. I strive to keep all investigations flawlessly. It's my guiding principle. But I let myself be distracted when I made that sketch. It was an unusually careless mistake.
So, you mean to say you really are a detective?
But why would a detective be working as a restaurant waiter? Ah, of course! Your Sally must be. Ugh! I was working undercover. Undercover? Yes. There have been a series of incidents at the restaurant recently.
Oh, hi, Azure! Hi!
Hello!
Welcome in.
In order to investigate, I decided to get a job there as a waiter, working undercover. Incidents at the restaurant? What kind of incidents?
Classified information?
That would be classified police information, which I am not at liberty to divulge. However, I can state categorically that they are unrelated to this case of homicide.
But are they really?
Very well then, Inspector Osanaga, but you will elaborate on one point for the court. Of course, Your Excellency. We have just heard new information from the two witnesses beside you. That at the time of the shooting, there was in fact another person present at the victim's table. If that is indeed true, clearly you would also have been aware of this person's presence, having served at the table in question. However, your testimony did not allude to this other diner, therefore I am led to assume that in your professional capacity as a police officer, you required these witnesses to be in agreement. Would that be correct? Correct, Your Excellency. Unbelievable! As I suspected. As soon as I heard the gunshot, I ran out of the kitchen to see what had happened. The victim sat slumped in his chair, and beside him, gun in hand, stood the accused student. Sitting opposite the victim at the same table was a young lady, who I might guess to be an Englishwoman. So the truth comes. I immediately sealed off the restaurant and reported the incident to the Bureau. It was then I received some special orders. Special orders? You mean to say... Remove the Englishwoman from the scene at once. It was made clear that the Englishwoman's presence at the restaurant was to be concealed. Those were my orders. But what if this Englishwoman was the killer? I think it would be in everyone's best interest not to that idea. The Empire views the friendly terms of its relationship with Britain more highly than anything at the moment. An Englishman has been murdered on our soil. To name an Englishwoman as the primary suspect. Well, without refutable evidence, that would be completely out of the question. So that's the reason for the disappearance of the Phantom Woman in this case. But it's not right.
Well, this trial's a mess.
One possibility does spring to mind. What, Kazuma? Yume University is currently hosting a number of exchange students from Great Britain. And I'm fairly certain that one of them, studying in the medical faculty's research laboratory, is a young Englishwoman. What? You're a shrewd man. I can see why you're the chosen candidate for the overseas study tour. I mean, when I removed the woman from the scene of the crime, I thought it prudent to check her identity first. Then the court demands that you name the lady at once, Inspector.
You're still cutting off quite a bit.
The Englishwoman staying at the university professor's table was a certain Miss Giselle Brett. She is indeed a foreign student studying the research laboratory of Yume University's medical faculty.
What is happening here?
I admit that under orders from the police bureau, I erased all evidence of this lady's presence at the scene, and ordered these witnesses to make no mention of her in their testimonies. It must now be up to Your Excellency to decide how to deal with this situation. Very well. My thoughts on the matter are as follows. Thus far, the case presented to the court has been underpinned by a particularly critical premise. Namely, that the victim was dining alone. However, as we have now discovered that this premise is false, it would be a desecration of our justice system to ignore the truth and give a ruling at this point.
But, Your Excellency! That would be missing the noon deadline of a ruling in order to send a telegraphic report to Great Britain! Our government will surely be displeased by such actions.
Calm yourself, Counsel. I will not allow the government of our country or any other to influence the proceedings of my courtroom.
Ah!
Inspector Hosonaga. Yes, sir. You will locate this Giselle Brett and escort her to the courtroom with the utmost urgency. At once, Your Excellency.
But that means you'll be going as special orders were given from the police bureau!
As I said before, it is my guiding principle to carry out all investigations flawlessly. So, it won't be a problem? Nothing will get in my way. Court will adjourn. The prosecution must call the English student, Giselle Brett, to the witness stand. Do I make myself clear?
Yes! Your Excellency!
Good. Then we will have a 30-minute recess before reconvening.
Alright.
To be continued. Fun.
It'll give us a good place to save, at least. I think.
Yeah.
We'll keep going, though. Oh. Yeah.
Man, sorry for all the cutting off today. I still have no idea what's happening there.
I don't know either. It might be Discord, but like, yeah, you're cutting off a lot tonight.
That sucks.
22nd November, 11:38 a.m. Supreme Court of Judicature. Defendant's Antechamber 5.
Excellent work, Yunosuke. That was superb. Oh, my heart was in my mouth the entire time.
Yeah, I'm trying not to like mention that you're cutting off as often if like I can understand like the stuff. But like you are still cutting off quite frequently.
That fucking sucks. It was almost unbelievable. I mean, looking at you in there, you were drenched in sweat, your eyes popping, your knees knocking, and you were grinding your teeth. It was a grim sight, but before I knew it, you'd start finding inconsistencies in the testimonies. I think you might have a natural talent for being a lawyer. Forget it! It's terrifying! If I get through this, I don't ever want to see the inside of a courtroom again. God. Anyway, it looks like we've exposed your Phantom Lady at last. Miss Giselle Brett, a student from Great Britain. Is she? That's why I was trying to tell everyone from the start. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone. was a young woman with him, like I've been saying all along. Yes, you have, haven't you? I might not be overly confident in the courtroom, but my powers of observation are one thing I'm sure of. Yes, I can see that. So, about this young gentlewoman. Thanks to our detective friend, she was hastily escorted away from the scene, it seems. Did you see what happened with that? No, I didn't see any of it. Man. I was just on my way out of the restaurant myself, then on the floor next to Dr. Wilson's table. Oh, I think I know what's going on here.
There's two guns.
Yeah. The other one is probably with Giselle.
Yeah.
I noticed there was a gun lying on the floor, and just after I bent down and picked it up... I didn't have time to think about where the sound of the gunshot had come from. The way ran over to me, looking as white as a sheet, and he bundled me into some sort of small pantry next to the kitchen. Fast thinking by the detective, he apprehended his suspect without a moment's delay. Yes, and because I was shut in the pantry, I have no idea what happened outside in the dining area. Ah, there you are. Well done, both of you.
It's, Miyatoba.
Professor Mikotoba! Well, it seems I was right. The pair of you make an outstanding team. You exceeded my expectations, I have to say. Yes, it seems you from the start. You arranged things so I wouldn't be able to act as the lawyer in this trial. Our Mun country is still in its infancy. Our justice system even more so. Which is why I firmly believe that we need to send our brightest young stars overseas to learn all they can. I want to avoid a situation that may have resulted in your study tour to Great Britain being cancelled. Well, it makes no difference. Lawyer or otherwise, if I'm the kind of man who can't help his best friend avert the worst crisis of his life, I shouldn't waste everyone's time by going to study overseas anyway. What? What are you saying, Kazuma?
He probably would have not gone anyway.
So that's your stance. I was afraid you'd feel that way. Kazuma? Well then, it looks like it all comes down to you, young man. To me? Yes, you need to prove your innocence and uncover what really took place in that restaurant. I must say, I very much want to know the truth. After all, I have a personal connection to this case. Come to think of it, he said the same thing earlier this morning, didn't he? If you don't mind me asking, Professor, did you know the victim? Yes, I did. As you're probably aware, Dr. John H. Wilson was a visiting professor at UMA. It was I who invited him. Oh! I see. I didn't know that before. Anyway, you're about to go into battle. The victim was a university professor from Great Britain, and a well-known one at that. Naturally, our government is looking to identify and punish the culprit as quickly as possible. But let's not forget who we're going up against. The gentleman whose involvement our police bureau went to extraordinary lengths to hide. Yes, and I'm sure the prosecution will be using every tool at their disposal to quash your case. But I've no doubt that you pair will put up a good fight, right to the last. Best of luck! Thank you! Now then... I need you to run an errand at the university at once. There's something I think we may need.
Of course. Good luck, Kazuma-sama.
Defendant Naruto! Court recess is over. Please make your way back inside the courtroom at once. It's time. Let's get back to it, partner. Let's go in there and deal a decisive blow before those old fossils know what's hit them. Kazuma? What? Thank you, really. What for? Well, if you hadn't said you believed me, then I'm fairly sure I'd already have been found guilty by now. Look, I have faith in you. As a lawyer, and as a friend. Coming from you, that means a lot. If I'm found guilty in this trial, he's really going to give up on his dream of studying abroad. That's the kind of true friend he is. So this isn't just my battle anymore. Whoever we're up against, we absolutely cannot afford to lose.
Anyway, they're so gay!
Yeah? Alright then. I'll save the thank yous for after the trial. You can treat me to one of those sukiyaki meals I like from Yume Cafeteria on University Street. With an extra large portion, of course.
God. 22nd November, 12:09 p.m. Supreme Court of Judicature. Courtroom 2. Actually, maybe I should,
hang
like...
on,
do you have anything to say?
I'm gonna need a moment.
Okay. Alright, I'm just gonna change the wait time to make the text go a little faster. Alright, let me know when you're ready. It looks like we're gonna have to wait a little bit. But it's okay! Because I am here, and we're having fun.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back.
The court hereby resumes the trial of Yunosuke Naruhodo. Prosecutor Alchi, have you managed to subpoena the witness?
Yes, Your Excellency! Against all odds. And thanks to a certain young stripling, the prosecution is now under hateful scrutiny from the government.
Sorry. Let the government scrutinize, that's their job. It's nothing to worry about.
It's highly unlikely that the good relations we've forged with Great Britain will emerge from this trial unscathed. We still think it's nothing to worry about when the new treaty breaks down our nation founders.
Again, terribly sorry. If the friendship between our nations is really so fragile, then the treaty isn't worth the paper it's written on. You really have nothing to worry about, Ryunosuke.
What do you mean?
A secret trial, anxiety over some foreign government's opinions, a bungled investigation of witnesses. Is this what our nation's justice system is? Is this the Supreme Court of Japan, or of England?
Shut up! Shut up, you jumped up rookie boy! You're your friend, nothing of the situation our nation finds itself in. By letting ourselves in this great world power, we'll become strong! Diplomacy has never been more critical! Steady political maneuvering is what will secure our futures.
I won't deny that I'm no expert. I'm just a student. And one could arguably study harder, too. But standing here now in our Supreme Court, there is one thing I feel very strongly. A country that fails to uphold the truth in its justice system is a country with no future at all. Well said, Ryunosuke, despite the wide-eyed look of terror.
You little brats!
Thank you, Counsel. This court is the pinnacle of our nation's justice system and exists solely for the pursuance of truth. With that in mind, this trial will now resume with the next witness taking the stand. The visiting student from Great Britain, Miss Giselle Brett.
Oh boy, I get to play a witness. Yes! Your Excellency!
The swan in her hat, oh my god.
Well, what a delight it is to welcome such a fine gentleman to Japan! And from such a distant land!
Tea! Someone bring English tea! In England, no discussions take place without tea! Is that true? No idea.
So, could we possibly trouble you to state your name and occupation for the court?
Of course. My name is Satoru Hosonaga. I've been working undercover as the head waiter at La Carnival, but my...
Yes, we know about you already!
Inspector Hosonaga, where are your manners? In England, it's always ladies first. Is that true? No idea.
Man.
More importantly, a little earlier today you said something to me. You said your powers of observation are the one thing you're sure of. Oh, yes, I think I did, didn't I? Yet your description for this amazing sight was simply a woman. Sorry, Yunosuke, but powers of observation aside, your powers of description are sorely lacking.
Kazuma!
Ugh, guilty.
So, dear lady, once again, if we may trouble you for your name and occupation, please.
Oh my god, the opera, man.
I am speaking in a foreign tongue that no one can clearly understand. Oh, I'm terribly sorry, dear lady, but... What?
Ah! I am also speaking in a tongue that can't be understood.
This is also a foreign language that nobody can understand.
God. The lady says her name is Giselle Brett. She comes from London, England. She's a visiting research student currently enrolled in UMaine University's medical faculty.
Oh my, what a rare treat to hear the dulcet tones of the delightful language of the British people! Right, I don't understand a word you said, but it was as beautiful as a hummingbird song.
As far as I can tell, the detective is translating her words faithfully enough. Yes, I agree. You'll obviously do fine in England, Kazuma. Her English doesn't value at all, does it? Nor you. You've clearly been paying attention in your English classes, Ryunosuke. The court thanks the beautiful lady for taking the stand. Now, if we may trouble you to confirm something, Miss Brett. 3 days ago at a restaurant Carnival, a grim murder took place. The court has been led to believe that you were dining there with the victim, Dr. Wilson, at the time. Is that correct? Man, it would be nice to have these properly written.
Do you want to read this totally illegible line
Yeah.
out?
God.
I am answering in a language that clearly nobody understands.
She says yes.
That is a
Oh,
very
yeah.
long text for one single word.
Oh my god. This could take some time. So even though she's studying here in Japan, she can't speak any Japanese.
I am answering his question in a language that no one understands.
God.
I continue to speak the language that nobody understands.
She'd like to apologize for disappearing from the scene. She says that she was due to make a presentation at the university, so she had to take leave immediately. Suspicious!
Hmm.
Interesting, when you're the one who engineered her escape. I was just following special orders from the Bureau.
Well now, dear lady, would you be so kind as to cast your eyes over this photographic print? See as you were so unfortunately present at the scene of the crime. Would it be that your splendid eyes caught sight of the wicked perpetrator, perhaps? I am answering his question in a language that no one understands.
Apparently it was a very frightening and sorrowful sight. Do you mean to say... Yes, it would appear that they did witness the crime. The very moment the accused, standing right there in his courtroom, shot the victim in cold blood.
I mean, we know that's obviously not correct.
Yeah? Order! Order in court!
Did you hear that, Your Excellency? Here we have an absolutely conclusive witness statement.
Well, it looks like it's clear now. Clear who our real enemy is. Unfortunately, I will have to ask you to formally testify, if you please. Kindly tell the court the exact nature of this frightening and sorrowful sight you described. Man. I am relaying this in a language nobody can understand. Oh boy, how is this gonna be handled?
I am speaking a language that no one understands.
I had arranged to meet for a slightly late luncheon with Dr. Wilson that day. The professor was unable to eat, so I ordered for myself only a beef steak.
I continue my testimony in a language no one understands.
After a while, the accused came over to greet the professor and they got into a fierce argument. Wait a minute! Then, not long afterwards, the accused took the professor's gun and shot him right before my eyes.
I am continuing my testimony in a language no one understands.
I don't carry a gun myself, so obviously I couldn't have been the culprit. This is a condemning testimony indeed. No, I didn't have any kind of argument with the professor at all.
Quiet, you filthy wretch! Look at you, you black-hearted blackguard! Look at the Snow White Angel! I'm sure even a dark-minded scoundrel like you can't imagine whose words the court is going to believe.
Ah, you're still making the same mistakes, Ryunosuke. You mustn't blurt out when you're golden like that. That's a lesson you need to learn. But he's so annoying. Of course, I was at the scene as well. I took statements from this lady and the 2 witnesses who testified before and reported back to the Bureau. It was decided that Miss Brett was not involved, so I let her go. The testimonies of the last 2 witnesses were completely worthless, however. Well, even so, on the day in question, the lady was wearing the same outfit as she is today. As you can see, there's nowhere about her person where she could conceal a firearm.
In the swan? In her hat?
I would think she could hide a gun almost anywhere in that outfit if she wanted to.
Unless and until the precise location where the witness is to have hidden a weapon can be shown, this is moot.
There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. Those are the witness's own words on the matter.
In the hat! In the hat!
Oh my god, Ryunosuke, why? Ah, that's ridiculous. If only I was allowed to lift up her dress, I could prove it.
Oh wait, I just realized my mouse has been showing this whole time.
It was.
Oh my
But
god.
I mean, it's easier to point things out.
I guess it's fine.
Don't think about doing anything rash, Ryunosuke. I didn't fire the gun I picked up. There must have been another gun there that day. You're right about that, which means this lady was hiding a gun somewhere. Yes, that's what we have to prove now. And to do so, we will need to pull her testimony apart. The grin!
Yep.
The defense may now cross-examine the witness.
Oh!
Oh, yes, Your Excellency.
They're doing great! We're gonna do great. We're gonna fucking get this cross-examination on. A frightening and
God.
sorrowful sight. You don't keep up with the latest fashions from Britain, do you? Elections are en vogue. Isn't that right?
No. A decisive English no has quite a sting to it. The gentlewoman is currently working in the victim's research laboratory, it seems. So it was apparently a daily occurrence that they would have lunch together.
Yeah.
On the day in question, the victim had another appointment at the clinic first.
So they couldn't have lunch.
Yes, which we can prove from the medical report card that was submitted as evidence earlier. That's right. Miss Brett and the victim went to lunch the following victim's treatment, which is why it was so late. Yes, that all makes perfect sense.
Such wonderful logic! What a stunning example of English intelligence this fine gentlewoman is!
So, you both arrived at the restaurant. What happened next? He was unable to eat, you say? And that was because he just had a tooth removed at the Hota clinic, correct? That's right. You're supposed to actually check with the witness before answering. Was Miss Brett aware of that fact? It seems so, yes. She'd heard that the professor was to have some dental treatment. So that would mean that it was you who ate the steak pictured here. Is that right, Miss Brett? That's right, yes. The print you have there shows the table exactly as it was left after the horrifying events. Is that exactly as it was left?
Dear me, what a harrowing experience! I've traveled to a distant island on the far side of the world, and be embroiled in such a tragic incident. Have no fear, my dear lady! I swear I will crush the evil fiend that has subjected you to this terrible plight!
So, the victim, Dr. Wilson, had nothing to eat or drink at all? That's right, other than some carbonated water. Just water. Yes, the professor wasn't able to eat, but he had been given permission to drink water. I don't think carbonated water is part of that, though. So it appears that the diners toasted their lunch with a glass of water each.
Add that to the record! There was only one glass!
They each raised a glass of carbonated water. What do you think, Inosuke, about the witness's last statement?
Very meaningful! Add it! Add it! Add that statement!
That last statement of yours, Miss Brett, has a profound bearing on this case.
Well, well, how fascinating. Do tell us what it is this profound berry,
The significance of the statement will become apparent when the time is right. The defense calls for the witness's last statement to be formally added to the testimony.
Well, sidestep counsel.
Very well. Miss Brett, you repeat what you just said to be added to your official testimony? Gladly, she said. That was brilliant, Cosma. I'm going to remember that one. Which one? The significance will become apparent when the time is right. I could really use that phrase. I'd hope there are some more useful tips you're picking up from this experience than that, Ryunosuke.
I love these two. Yep. Here we go.
That's it! Let me just confirm something, please. It's to do with this photographic print. Just a short while ago, you spoke of this print showing the victim's table at the crime scene. That it was exactly as it was left. That is correct, the lady says. Well, that is, it's odd. Very odd.
Dear me, what's odd is the defense's inability to express itself.
Aww. Inosuke, what is it about the print that looks odd to you? Well, obviously, it's the cheers.
The cheers!
Miss Brett just told us that she and the professor said cheers over a glass of water. But if that's true, there should be 2 glasses on the table, not 1.
And that's why they assumed that there was only one person in the first place.
Yeah, you're right, Counsel. There's only 1 glass pictured here.
I'm supposed to be impressed by this nitpicking over midway. What much difference can the presence of absence on a glass make on the case?
Minutiae, you say? Could it be that the detective here removed the glass from the table to conceal the lady's presence? Of course not! I would never do something so reckless. But there should have been 2 glasses on the table. Or are you going to try to tell me you can clink with only 1? You're quite right. I certainly took 2 glasses to the table.
I am answering in a language nobody understands.
Inspector, what did the lady say? It would seem that it was Miss Brett who took the glass from the table. What? It was all so terrifying, everything that happened. I panicked and thought I should try to hide the fact that I'd been there at all, she's saying. Good gracious!
Sorry.
God.
Yes, I shared the car before. They have no consequence at all.
Oh, please.
Alright, give me one moment. I'm going to grab a glass of water. I'll be back. Go entertain the group.
Hopefully the mic issues haven't been too glaring for you guys. Holy shit. I would like to not have to deal with this next time we stream. Jeez. But yeah, hi. Hopefully you guys are doing well tonight. Or whatever time it is on your end. I still can't believe how much of a nervous wreck Ryunosuke is. It's crazy. And honestly very relatable, to be honest. I repeated that. Whoops. Anyway, yeah. Wait, never mind. Man, this is kind of awkward. Well, at least the violin in the background is nice. Well, I hope at the very least everyone is vibing with the stream tonight.
Sorry for the way I brought food too.
Ah,
Hold on,
Welcome
let me
back.
open my eyes. My virtual eyes, there we go.
welcome back.
I am officially back, yeah, hi. We must remember that this student had just murdered this lady's companion before her very eyes! Who would blame her for concealing a glass or two in her state of disarray?
That's absurd!
Oh, really? So do we take it that you are now going to accuse this vulnerable, young, and beautiful woman of mischief?
What? Oh, no, no, no! This can't be put down to mischief! I'd say so too, considering that's tampering with the fucking crime scene.
Yeah.
I'd like to know exactly how the lady took the glass from the scene.
I'm answering in a language that nobody understands.
It would seem that she slipped it into a small handbag she was carrying. Oh! Oh! There's the concealment!
She could have a gun in there.
A handbag, you say? Yes, Your Excellency. A small handheld pouch commonly carried by well-to-do women in England.
So the beautiful lady has very graciously explained how and why she removed the glass from the scene now. She also explained that she may not have been able to hide a gun in her dress. She could have hidden the gun in her purse.
Ha!
However, the fact remains that this glass has absolutely no bearing on the case. The student has been trying to confuse the court with logical reasoning, and it comes to nothing. No more pretentious accusations! You have wasted enough time already! Hello?
Indeed, the lady has offered a satisfactory explanation as to why she removed this glass.
Okay.
I think henceforth we can consider the matter to have no bearing on the case. Counsel for the defense, are you in agreement? Well, I don't know really. If you want to pursue this matter further, you're going to need to show that it has some deeper significance. Yes, you're right. So she took the glass away in her handbag. There's a deeper significance there. It's
the handbag!
Wait, now they put the glass in her handbag, you say?
Yes, just try to keep up. I've already been explained to the court that all English gentlemen carry handbags for small items.
Let me see. A little while ago, Miss Brett stated the following. There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. But what she forgot to mention was her handbag, in which it would be perfectly possible to conceal a gun. You're right! Well done, partner. I had a feeling you'd pick up on that too.
You insinuated, you vile blackguard!
It's really very simple. The gun shot was heard when the defendant picked up the gun from the restaurant floor. As he didn't fire that gun, we can deduce there must have been another firearm at the scene. The true murder weapon, if you will.
You can't seriously be suggesting...
Inspector Hosonaga! Yes? Did you or did you not search Mrs. Aseo Brett's handbag on the day of the murder? No, sir. I did not. As I thought! In other words, another gun, the one that was actually used to kill the professor, could have been in Miss Brett's handbag.
No!
Order! Order! Order!
What is the meaning of this, Inspector?
The meaning of what, Prosecutor Alchi?
Oh no, did you not have the lady open her handbag showing contents at the time? It's your bugging incompetence. Now she has to endure these uncomfortable accusations.
Brilliant work, partner. Now you have a chance to expose the real woman behind the mask. You think so, Kazuma? Well, what a sorry situation. Clearly you have no faith in the police.
I mean,
Huh?
considering that you tried to conceal, like, actual evidence of a person being on scene, then yeah, we have a good reason to not have faith in the police.
Yeah? As I said, I did not search the lady's handbag after the shooting. Simply because it was unnecessary. Unnecessary in what way? I ought to thank the student lawyer, really. I have a piece of evidence here that I'd completely forgotten about.
Oh?
This photographic print. Oh boy.
There's a few things of interest here.
Wait, is there a tattoo on his hand, or rather his wrist?
I don't think that's a tattoo. Anyway, go ahead.
No, nothing.
Hey, go ahead. It's your line.
Oh, right. This print is of a photograph I thought would be prudent to take immediately after the shooting. As you can see, it clearly shows Miss Brett's handbag. Well, I never! You can see right through to what's inside!
The glass is in fact in there.
That's right. Apparently, meshwork bags like these are the height of fashion in London at the moment. So the contents are clearly visible. Exactly. So there was no need to search the lady's handbag. If there had been a gun inside, it would have been immediately obvious.
So yeah, it's in her hat, right?
It has to be. Ah! As you can see, there's nothing to imply Miss Brett's guilt here. Thank you for helping to prove that, Naoto-san. Ah!
Oh man.
Order! Order! Inspector Hosonaga, you will submit that print as evidence at once.
Uh-oh.
Certainly, Your Excellency.
I am dropping internet
Oh, no.
connection really badly. Hold on. Okay, looks like
Okay.
we're back into green.
Okay,
Oh no, back to red. Red. No, hold on.
Fuck.
Green? Okay, it's gonna be inconsistent, looks like. Photograph of the handbag has been entered into the court record.
I think you've had long enough to cross-examine the witness, counsel. The court has now been shown considerable evidence. As the photographic print just submitted to the court record appears to have no further significance, I am satisfied that there is no longer any room for doubt in this matter, and I must make my ruling.
Indeed, there is only one logical conclusion. The pathetic rookie slept over the bench before us is the only possible perpetrator of this crime.
No. Just when I thought I was beginning to turn things around. I'm in a worse situation than I was at the start. Kazuma? I'm sorry, Ryunosuke. Now that the cross-examination of the witness is over, there's no way to force the trial to continue. What? You mean this is it?
I must say, you put up quite a fight for a rookie student. The weak are meat to how strong you eat. You are wasting your time. No way to defeat true justice. In fact, you can chew on to your heart's content from the inside of your cell.
This can't be happening. Am I really going to be found guilty of a crime that I didn't commit? And Kazuma. His dream of going to study in Great Britain will slip through his fingers. Kazuma. What? Is there really no chance now of turning this trial around? You heard the judge. There's nothing about that last photograph that detective proves that we can contest. Which means there's no basis on which we can argue for the trial to continue. Very well, I will now proceed immediately to the ruling.
It seems we will be able to report to the British government on time after all.
That smug little...
Oh look, Ryunosuke is having a more thoughtful
Yeah.
expression.
Ryunosuke Naruhodo. What? Wait! Your Excellency! Ryunosuke? I don't think you can rule on this case yet.
This amateurness is getting tedious. Once the Excellency deems that the trial is over, he gives his ruling. That's the most basic protocol of the courtroom.
Your Excellency, just a moment ago you said this. As the photographic print just amid appears to have no further significance, there is no longer any room for doubt in this matter, and I must make my ruling. Now, that means if there was a problem with the evidence, some significant detail I mean, then ruling on the case at this time would be out of the question.
This blatant Lady, straw clutching! Look at this photographic print! Oh, it shows the handbag the gentlewoman was carrying on the day in question. There would be no problem with this evidence.
You'd better know what you're doing, Ryunosuke. I understand your objection, counsel. Certainly, the new evidence submitted by the detective must not undergone the court's scrutiny. However, I fail to see how we can glean any new information from this handbag.
Because it's not the handbag we're looking at. Ha! I thought so exactly. Really, the prosecution is becoming tired of this rookie's desperate wheezes.
Yes, I am desperate, but this isn't a wheeze. There's something about this photograph that just doesn't seem right. If only I could put my finger on it.
Or my mouth on it.
Very well, I will grant the defense one final opportunity.
What?
But be warned that if I am unsatisfied by the response here, the trial will be over with immediate effect. Do I make myself clear? Yes, Your Excellency. So, take another look at the photographic print Inspector Osanaga submitted before. You will identify for the court, where in this print we see the significant detail to which you have alluded. Look at this here. There's a very unusual mark on the victim's wrist. That is true. It looks almost like a burn of some description.
Dear me, I was pondering what befell you when you come out with burn, you say, on the victim's wrist. It has nothing to do whatsoever with the magnificent lady's handbag.
Yes, that is a burn mark, you're right. Go on, Inspector. The police coroner also noticed it when he was performing the post-mortem examination. It was deemed unrelated to the cause of death, so he didn't note it in his report.
And did I tell you? In any case, we have no idea when the victim suffered that burn, do we? No possible way of knowing either.
The more I look at it, the more I find myself intrigued by the curious shape of this mark.
Looks like a cow.
It does. However, as Prosecutor Aoshi points out, unless a firm connection to the case can be shown, I cannot allow any further time to be spent on the precise details of this burn.
I am speaking a language that nobody understands.
Excuse me, Your Excellency. It would seem Miss Brett has a lunch appointment at the Dean and our university staff. She would like to know if she may be excused from the stand now.
Oh, of course, dear lady. We shan't hold you up any longer. I'm quite sure His Excellency is about to give his final ruling anyway.
What's your thinking on this, Ryunosuke? Do you believe this burn does have something to do with the case? To be honest, I'm not really sure. But if I don't keep pushing, then it's all over.
YOLO!
I'm thinking I should keep digging and digging, and hope that I might uncover something useful. Yes, you're right. I am? If we can just link that burn to the case, if we can do that, we might be able to prise this shutting door back open again.
Just give up, counsel. You can't possibly hope to do that.
Indeed, I'm afraid that without evidence, I can't allow you to pursue what is little more than conjecture.
Man, I forgot how long this actual first case is.
But if we had evidence, then yeah, I was gonna say
For a trial case.
evidence that irrefutably linked the burn on the victim's wrist to the case, then you would allow it? I would, yes. To tell the truth, I hadn't noticed that burn. But as soon as you pointed it out, what I did notice was the color draining from Miss Brett's face. Really? I have to find some link between that burn and the case. This is the moment of truth. It's time to find some evidence that proves what that burn really means.
Hi! Don't worry about it. Fine. He just has a magic headband.
So then, the defense will now present its evidence to the court.
Headband that, like, absolutely defies gravity.
Time to check everything again. The evidence that demonstrates an inextricable connection between the victim's burn and this trial.
Okay, we need to look through everything again.
Time to examine it.
Not this.
It doesn't seem like it'd be
Not
here.
this. Oh, I see it.
Oh! What's this, Counsel? Yeah, another print? Yes, Your Excellency. I believe photographic prints are an amazing invention. When we humans look at a scene, we miss things. But in a photograph, things we may have overlooked at the time are recorded forevermore.
Hurry up, rookie. What are you trying to say? To inconvenience this poor lady any further really would be quite inexcusable.
Actually, we may need you to stay with us a little longer if you don't mind, Miss Brett. You see, it's very clearly visible in this other photograph. How did the victim come to have that unusually shaped burn on his wrist? The reason is recorded here forevermore. What? How?
You can't fool me with your little bluffs, boy! If that's your game, then let's see how it plays out! Show the court exactly what you mean! What is in this photograph that explains the reason for the victim's burn? Oh, it's right here. The beefsteak?
Actually, the point is the metal plate the steak was served on. The plate? Ah!
Your Excellency, are you alright?
As you can see, there's an emblem on the plate. I would guess it's some sort of trademark of La Carnival. Ah! This emblem on the plate. And the victim's burn
Are exactly the same!
are exactly the same shape!
Ah!
Ryunosuke, you genius! You're spot on. Which means the victim must have suffered this burn while he was present at the restaurant.
But maybe that is the case. I don't know if it happened on the day in question or not. Could have been the day before, the day before that. It most likely happened at some other unrelated time.
Well, sadly, Prosecutor Alchi, the chances of that are extremely slim. Thanks.
Why?
The outline of the burn is clearly discernible. Such a serious injury would have caused quite a commotion in the restaurant. Wouldn't you agree, Inspector Osanaga? I can't imagine having missed such a terrible disaster, certainly.
But
I would say, looking at the picture of the wound, that it wasn't suffered very long ago. And, although it's not a particularly large burn, it's extremely well defined, as the defense just pointed out. This was no mild burn, that's for sure. Can you be more specific, Inspector? Well, let's see. If the plate was at around 90 degrees centigrade, a burn like that would have taken around 3 seconds. It's inconceivable that the victim would have let out a scream of pain then. I've been investigating at the restaurant for several weeks already, but I've not heard anyone scream at all. As the head waiter of La Carnival, I can testify to that without hesitation.
But you're a detective, not a waiter!
There you have it! Something isn't right here! As the detective said, anyone who burnt themselves on a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds would scream in pain. There's no question of that. And yet Inspector Hosonaga never heard the professor scream, not on that day or any before it. That's right. And the strange thing is, on the day he was shot, I didn't hear him cry out either.
So it happened post-mortem. After he died.
Yeah. Well, the professor had carelessly laid his wrist on pretty for anything like 3 seconds that day. That would be beyond careless, I think, Counsel. And then the rest of us in the restaurant, myself, the sergeant, and the old antiques dealer, all of us would, without any question, have heard him scream. Wouldn't you agree, Prosecutor Alchi?
Well, yes, I suppose.
So the question is, why didn't a single person hear Dr. Wilson scream?
Because he was already dead!
I almost don't believe it. Ryunosuke, do you think...
Here we go.
Can it really be true? I never dreamt we'd arrive at a conclusion like this, but... I'm starting to think that maybe... we've been led to a terrible trap! Only one explanation I can think of to make sense of this apparent impossibility. On the day in question, when he suffered the burn to his wrist, Dr. Wilson... No man could remain silent while his wrist was burning on a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds. That's clearly impossible. Apart from in one particular situation. Counsel, are you suggesting...
That he was already dead.
Yes, it's only possible if the man was already dead.
Already.
Dead? Knowing what we know now, it's the only possible explanation. When the beef steak was brought to Dr. Wilson's table that day, the professor was already dead.
That's madness!
Order! 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 Please! Counsel! Explain this absurd notion at once! The victim was killed by a gunshot!
That's right! That's absolutely right, Your Excellency! It's just another ridiculous ploy by the rookie student! Clearly he has no grasp of the facts!
No, Professor Alchi, Prosecutor Alchi rather. It's you who has no grasp of the facts.
I beg your pardon?
As soon as it became apparent that the victim had suffered that burn while at the restaurant, this whole case was turned upside down. Or have you not grasped that yet? Your Excellency, the court must hear from this witness again. If it's true, as we now believe, that the victim was already dead before the gunshot was heard, it's highly likely that Miss Brett knows something about it. Incredible. I certainly didn't anticipate this twist of events. I'm sorry to say, Miss Brett, that you will have to forget your luncheon engagement.
But, Your Excellency!
The justice system in our country may be in its infancy, but rest assured, all reasonable doubt must be dispelled before I'm prepared to pass judgment. Thank you, Your Excellency. What was that smile?
Yes, of course. I mean, I'd be delighted to help. Especially if it helps relations between my country and yours.
Huh?
She could speak Japanese this whole time! Miss Brett, you speak Japanese? Well, of course I do. I am studying in your country after all.
But then, why have you been speaking for an interpreter until now?
My mother tongue, the Queen's English, is the most refined and elegant language in the world. As a gentlewoman, I try to avoid speaking in your vulgar tones as much as possible.
Oh!
Don't you love racism?
Casual racism! Fucking fun!
But it seems the men in this land possess none of the chivalrous virtues of English gentlemen. So I can see that I shall have to lower myself to communicating with you all on your own level. Oh, well, you're an epitome of a true English gentleman. I'm truly honored by this lavish consideration you so graciously offered us.
I see. In that case, Miss Brett, I will now ask you to testify in your own words about the events leading up to the death of the victim, Dr. Wilson. So, we're finally going to hear our own words on the matter. Things are getting interesting, Ryunosuke.
Alright, here we go. Victim's death. Unfortunately, I have no idea when the poor man burnt his wrist like that. When the waiter brought my steak, the professor and I raised our glasses in a toast. As far as I've heard, a post-mortem report showed no other possible cause of death besides the gunshot. If there's some other way a man's life can be taken without leaving a trace, please, do show me. But of course, this country's inferior investigative techniques probably wouldn't pick up on it anyway. Poison?!
Ha!
Is that why she took the glass?!
A spiked drink, of fucking course. That most captivating and beautiful testimony will go down in Supreme Court's history. Thank you.
I do think she does have a second gun, because they did hear a gunshot.
Oh, the gun was a decoy for the actual killing method.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Like, the gun was left there for, like, any other person to pick up so that she could, like, you know...
disguise the killing method.
And also, throw someone under the bus.
Yeah.
Whoever picked up the gun would be accused of the crime.
Because of fucking course. Easy does it.
I hope that is the last time I will have to sully my lips with the coarse tones of your unbecoming tongue. Oh.
Fuck you, Brett.
Forgive me. I do hope I haven't insulted anyone.
You insulted us!
Not at all! It's a delight merely to hear you speak, dear lady. And it seems very clear from your testimony, this boorish talk of the victim's burden is utterly irrelevant. I will be speaking to your country's Minister of Justice about what has happened here today. The Minister of Justice? May that irritating little bully of a student be given the harshest punishment possible. Amen.
What? Thanks. Was that a prayer then? Well, you'll have to forgive the irritation, Miss Brett, and put up with a cross-examination now. I expect you've noticed that this little bully of a student, as you put it, doesn't miss much.
This line, coupled with the expression of his.
I'm sure I don't need to remind you, Counsel, that this will be your final cross-examination in this trial. If you fail to demonstrate any problems with this witness's testimony, I will be ruling on the case immediately. Is that clear? Yes, Your Excellency. Then you may proceed with the cross-examination.
Man. Alright, here we go.
Oh boy.
Victim's death.
I think we need to press the other statements first. Without leaving a trace?
If someone is shot, or strangled, or stabbed, or thrown from a height, or a person's life is taken, there are always telltale traces on the body. Quite right, dear lady! And as our police force has thoroughly examined the body of the deceased, there can be no doubt. That's right, Inspector Hosonaga.
As I've said, I always aim for a flawless investigation. There would be physical traces to all those causes of death, that's true.
The one?
Time to have a look at stuff again.
No, okay.
But maybe there's some other way of killing someone that doesn't leave a mark.
If, heaven forbid, you doubt me, young man, you're going to have to tell everyone how exactly you think the professor did this slave. Otherwise, I'm afraid your argument falls rather flat, doesn't it? Oh no, perish the thought! Calling such a sweet young woman, ladies, this isn't the question! On my honor, I, Taketsuchi Aochi, will cut down any who dare cast those aspirations!
A way of killing someone that leaves no trace. We need some evidence to back us up here. Yes, evidence.
We don't have evidence, so we need to press, I think.
We might need to press the toast thing.
Try this one, yeah.
As you testified before, you were drinking carbonated water. Is that right?
Mr. Wilson was only permitted to drink water at that time, if you remember. Which explains why he ordered that drink. Correct, waiter?
Exactly as you say, sir. Although...
Although?
Whether or not the professor actually drank any of the water when I delivered the steak to the table, I'm afraid I don't remember that.
Damn you. I have enough English to understand that, at least. For the benefit of others in the court means bless you.
I think it means the exact opposite.
Anyway.
Yes, it's written here in the paperwork. Fatal hemorrhage from ballistic trauma.
Yes. Luckily for all of us, a little burn on the wrist isn't going to kill us. As there were no other signs of trauma on the victim's body to indicate some other cause of death. Only been the bullet from your gun that put an end to this innocent man's life.
But doesn't make sense! The burn must have happened straight away when the plate was first brought to the table by the waiter. Yes, that's true. If it had cooled even slightly, it wouldn't have been able to make a burn like that. And if the victim burned his wrist on the hot plate as soon as it was brought from the kitchen, then he must already have been dead at that point.
Yet, fact is that the victim was killed by a gunshot to the chest. So you're able to show the court evidence to disprove that. This is a complete waste of time.
I concur. Prosecutor Alchi is right. Ah! Inferior? What do you mean by that?
In the lands of the Great British Empire, please store everything found at a crime scene for later examination. In this country, you investigate once and that's the end of it. Isn't that so? Quite right! The carnival is open for business as usual today, just days after the incident. Exactly, which means that even if the investigation takes a different direction, all evidence may be lost.
Ouch!
Here's a reaction. It doesn't even occur to your naive detectives to try to preserve the crime scene. I'm trying to be as tactful about this as I can, you understand?
You're not very tactful at all.
Haha! Killer blow! Oh, ladies, as formidable as she's beautiful.
Amazing. He's actually admitting our police may be flawed. Perhaps Prosecutor Alchi is finally starting to see sense. I very much doubt that. Still, there's something about what Miss Brett just said. There was a moment before when something didn't seem quite right. What do you think, Ryunosuke? I think it's going terribly! No matter how much I press her, I'm not turning up any new information. Yes, as I suspected, she's a tough witness.
Mm-hmm.
We need to find a way to break her testimony, or the cross-examination will be over. But that would mean I have to find a way. There must be some clue somewhere to help us find a chink in her armor. Kazuma? What, Ryunosuke? There is one thing I noticed. Something that's been bothering me. Bothering you? You mean about Miss Brett? Actually, no. About the person standing next to her, Inspector Hosonaga. The detective? Yes, he seemed to react a little strangely to Miss Brett's last statement. I was wondering if it might be significant. If it might present an opening, maybe.
I mean, yeah, Asuki is he's a very attractive man.
Alright, I have an idea.
He has a very, like, nice profile, like, and his character design is very strong.
Yeah. It's probably the headband, too.
The headband is very powerful.
Try pressing on that last statement one more time. If you think so, but this time, instead of targeting the woman herself, let's see what we can get out of the detective. Alright then, I wonder what Kazuma's thinking. I'll find out soon enough, I suppose, once I press Miss Brown the last statement again.
Okay.
We've gone through this already.
Oh, did I use the wrong? Oh, here we go.
Yes, there it is again! The detective's reaction is just the same as before. Why? Up until now, the detective has been in the stand with Miss Brown as her interpreter. But things are very different now.
Oh yeah, good night! Night, Hitsuji. Have a good night.
Night! For this testimony, the detective is just listening to what the English woman has to say. This could be a golden opportunity.
Oh boy.
What do you mean?
But yeah, just as a reminder, since it is pretty late in American time zones, if you ever want to
Please
watch...
go get some rest.
Yeah, get some rest. And if you do want to see the rest of this on your own time, we will be uploading this to the YouTube.
Yeah, this is gonna be in the
And
pod.
and if you want to find out when we drop the YouTube videos, and
just
hit the Discord. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can do both.
Yeah. Wait.
Oh, let me go back a line.
Yeah. When people are actually testifying, they're usually very careful to not let anything slip. However, when they're listening to someone else speak, you'll find they often let their guard down. You're right. Look at him. He's lost in his own thoughts. It's time to pursue the man and his train of thought. Sorry? Pursue?
Oh yeah, this is a new mechanic specifically for this game.
Ah. I'll explain how to do it now, Yunosuke. It's all to do with the witness marker. What marker? At the moment, we're focused on Miss Brett, who's the person actually making the current statement. But by moving the marker left and right with A and D, you can turn your attention to other people in the stand.
So yeah, we can... The game will have multiple people on the stand at once. Kind of crazy.
While you're looking at the other witnesses, you'll be able to pursue them with space. If you can catch the person at just the right time, you might uncover some new information to pursue. If you ever notice a strange atmosphere amongst the people on the stand, take a good look around. Alright then, so first I should move the marker across with A and D and focus on the detective. Then pursue him with space and see what's on his mind. Here we go!
Let me go here.
Excuse me! Ah! What's the meaning of this? I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to shock you. He really was lost in his thoughts. Deeply. It looked like you were thinking something just now, Inspector. Perhaps having heard what the lady next to you had to say. If there's something you'd like to say, please, share it with the court.
What's the meaning of this? This is a delightful Englishwoman who's testifying at the moment. If you can't find fault with her testimony, then the cross-examination should be over immediately.
Oh, is that how it works? Absolutely not. The detective is in the stand, which makes him a valid witness. Yes, not to mention the fact he's intimately involved in the case. Inspector Hosonaga. Yes? Do you have something to add in relation to the statement just made by Miss Brett? Well, yes. If you don't mind, I would like to speak. The lady is right. Our country's police practices are not as modern as those used in Great Britain. Which is why I, Satoru Hosonaga, always strive to make every investigation I'm involved in flawless! What do you really mean by that? I'll tell you what I mean. I won't have evidence lacking on my watch. I'm not afraid to take everything I can from the scene of the crime. It's preserving evidence, you see. I don't care if they call me a crime scene thief. I'm not ashamed of what I've done. A crime scene thief?
He took.
Well, it looks like the lady's remarks touched a nerve there. Take this, for example. Is that? This is the ball of carbonated water that I took the victim's Dable on the day in question. And yes, it's lost all of its fizz, having been opened 3 days ago now. But it was carbonated water. I don't care what anyone says. Yes, there's some left in the bottle. I can see it. One day, our police force will be among the best in the world. The time is coming. I guarantee it. I can't say I condone the witness's actions, but I do understand the sentiment. The court will accept the glass ball of water as evidence.
The carbonated water bottle has been entered into the court record.
Miss Brett? Can you confirm this is indeed the bottle from which you drank on the day of the victim's death?
Yes, it was that bottle.
What was that about? She seemed to avert her eyes when she answered the judge's question. Very well. Counsel, you may resume the cross-examination. And the inspector will kindly control his fervor.
Okay, I know exactly what to do now. We have evidence. We
Yep.
can use.
Time to look at the thing.
Can we actually look at it? Oh, we can't.
You should be able to. Try the spacebar, I guess. Can't find anything out of place. Maybe I'll rotate it?
No.
The label is written in a foreign language that I don't recognize. Do you know what it says, Kazuma? I think it's French. This must be very expensive water. Yes, but what does it say? That's why I was asking. Then go to France and ask. You could just say that you don't know.
I don't think there's anything in here to actually examine. Because we're not science people.
Yeah.
I think we just...
And unfortunately, the science person that shows up in... The science person that would know doesn't show up in this game.
Yeah. There's no Emma! I'm sorry! I think we just present it.
What is this? The ball of water? Actually, there is one method of killing a man without leaving a trace that comes to mind. Obviously, I'm referring to poison.
Poison?
On the day of his death, we know that Dr. Wilson drank from this ball of carbonated water. Could it be that there was poison inside? Could it be that the professor actually died after taking a sip from his glass? Order! Order! Order!
Here we go.
And on that day, who was sitting at the same table as the professor and able to slip the poison into his drink? There's only one person who could have possibly done it.
Oh, they forgot the word one. There's only it says
They
there's
did.
only person. There's only person who could possibly done it.
Giselle Brett! It was you!
It's outrageous! It's just something without a scrap of evidence. Look at Mademoiselle. Have you even considered the delicate situation our country finds itself in now? We've forgotten that we only just signed a accord of friendship with the British Empire. Have you even the vague inkling that your rash accusations could jeopardize the entire treaty?
This is not a political arena. This is a trial to determine one individual's guilt with respect to one crime.
What?
The fact that this woman is British makes no difference. We are here to determine the truth.
If I may. Oh, such a fur for this facial attack. It is you who should be silent. Of course. Dear lady!
Where did that come from? She just snapped.
I'm afraid I might have spoken unfairly before. I offer my most humble apologies.
I'm sorry, my lady. To what are you referring?
I described your police force as inferior. No matter how inferior they may be. You still investigate this particular point thoroughly, I believe? The bottle, I mean, Inspector. And whether it contained poison or not.
Of course. You did? Have you forgotten what my guiding principle is already? I strive for a flawless investigation every time. I don't believe it. Naturally, we tested the inside of the bottle and its contents. And what did you find, Inspector? I ordered tests for every toxin that's available in this country at the present time.
In this country! May I emphasize? In this country!
I mean, to be fair, worldwide resources weren't exactly available yet.
Which, I mean, she's literally British!
Yeah. We could find no trace of poison of any description in the bottle of carbonated water, Your Excellency.
The thing is that, like, the poison that could be in the drink is a foreign poison that cannot be found in Japan!
Yeah. Yeah. What? Are you sure?
Anyway, don't you love looking at semantics?
God.
Also, hold on one moment.
Okay.
I'm batting this person right here. Why did their message still show? Oh, okay. It looks like it's gone now.
Fake fuck.
Weird. I'm still seeing the message on my end, but like, I mean, it's not showing up on stream, so it's okay.
The tests were meticulously carried out by the chief coroner himself. No. No!
Also, hi, my name is Len. I love mysteries and, like, picking through people's words. When it comes to solving mysteries. I love semantics, don't you? I'm very grateful to all you Japanese. You've successfully established my complete innocence in this horrid affair. Thank you. But of course, dear lady, the pleasure was all ours.
I was so sure. This can't be right. Everything falls into place if he was poisoned. Thank you, Counsel. I think that cross-examination has clarified everything. As the prosecution have asserted, a shot to the chest from this gun is the only conceivable cause of death. Furthermore, the accused, who by his own admission was holding this weapon, is the only possible culprit. I'm done for. The court wishes to apologize for the great inconvenience this has caused you, Miss Brett.
Oh no, I'm just glad the matter is resolved.
Before proceeding, I must ask the counsel for the defense. Do you have any further new evidence to present the court at this point?
No.
Kazuma? I'm sorry, Inosuke. I have nothing more.
Well, if you excuse me now, I really must be leaving.
Oh, there she is. The girl!
It's her!
Susato!
Please wait.
Isn't that? What is the meaning of this?
Forgive me for intruding on court proceedings, Your Excellency. Susato Mikotoba, Judicial Assistant to Defense.
Mikotoba?
Yeah, she's the daughter.
In my darkest hour, with nowhere left to go, she appeared like a bolt of lightning. And in her hand, she carried a small package wrapped in a furoshiki cloth. Another to be continued. Holy shit.
We might have to pause here because it's already like almost 2 a.m.
Yeah. This is a good time to save as any.
Alright.
I was not expecting this trial to go for as long as it did.
Yeah, so yeah, we're gonna have to pause here. We'll pick up Saturday. Hopefully we'll have more time and I won't, you know, be EP. Anyway, tomorrow, I know I said on the Discord we're doing Genshin, but change of plans! I was gifted a pass for a beta for a game, called Fate Trigger, the Navita, which is, an anime, Overwatch-like, and, yeah, the alpha test is happening at the playtest is after, beta testing, or playtesting, whatever. I don't know if it's alpha or beta, whatever, but it's a playtest! It's happening! And at the moment, and I want to, like, be able to do it before, like, it, you know, goes away. So, yeah, we're doing that tomorrow instead of Genshin. We might do other, I mean, depending on, like, how long we go for tomorrow, we might do other games as well, outside of that. We might do actually Genshin out after that. But yeah, other than that, that's it. As a reminder, this VOD is going 100% on YouTube. Feel free to also check out the Twitter for any more updates, as well as the Discord.
Before we cut off for YouTube, I'd just like to apologize for all technical difficulties that happened during this stream. Like, God.
Hopefully we can get that matter sorted at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll pick this up next Saturday. Not same time because we picked up it late. Probably around 7 to 8 p.m. Next week, Pacific. And that should be it from us tonight. Do you have anything else to say? Or want to share anything?
No,
Alright.
I don't have anything else to say.
Cool!
Right
Alright. Do we have anybody we can raid at 2 a.m. in the morning? Anyway, let's say goodbye to YouTube first. Anyway, bye YouTube! We'll see you next time!